gentlemen, and welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena as you join us for Week 4 of the PEC, where Boise State University will be going up against Kansas in a best-of-5 Overwatch match that is sure to be a thriller. My name is Bryce Jensen. I'm going to be your host for today, joined by my co-host and new player, Zach Munson, and we are so excited to bring you what is sure to be a great game of Overwatch. Now, Boise State is in a little bit of a lull right now. They're currently 1-1 in the season after taking their first week as a bye. However, Kansas is in a little bit of a worse state at 1-2 after a really tough loss to Utah. So tell us a little bit about that. How do you think that's going to affect this matchup and the matchups coming forward?
Well, the mental part of the game is always important, especially in competition in sports in general, and both of these teams find themselves in kind of an interesting position. Boise State, so strong, pretty much undefeated in the PEC, the champion of last season, find themselves, if they lose this one, they could be negative on the season, something that they haven't been in a while. Same with Kansas. They lost a close game. It went down to the final map against a strong Utah team. They kind of had it in their hands and weren't able to bring it home, and now they're kind of in almost a free fall of their own. So this one's going to be very important for the mental of both of these teams.
Yeah, trying to keep that mental up as well as adjusting to maybe a few new team comps. I know that Kansas just got a new team member just this year, currently a freshman, and that's going to be a little bit difficult, especially in such a team-based game. But will Boise State be able to do it, especially with one of their main DPS off the roster for today and subbed in with one of our new players? But I guess it's all going to be found out here fairly quickly. But that really leads us to the big question. How is Kansas really going to come back from this?
I mean, it's tough, and I think the way that they're going to want to do it is, they're going to want to show out, and they've kind of been working with kind of the Reaper Zarya. That's the main thing that they've been looking for, and they're either probably going to double down on that and try and make it work even harder, or maybe they've done some research of their own on what Boise State likes to do, and they have sort of a game plan in mind. I know Boise State kind of has a little bit of their own, and it's going to be a mental battle in this one for sure.
Yeah, I know Doc was telling us before the show that this was one of the most extensive pieces of research that he's had to do for a team in the season so far, and I assume that is going to lead us into a great showing tonight from both sides. But we would like to give you guys a little bit of an overview of what has been going on with Week 4 of the PEC. Week 4 of the PEC continues to show us just how close these teams are, as we saw another big-time upset, or maybe just a sleeping giant emerging from a slow start. Boise State Overwatch, after the second bye, was able to get on the board with a 3-0 over Baylor, who is currently 1-3. The Broncos, after dominating 2024, just now get their first win to move the year to 1-1. Minnesota saw themselves go 3-0 over Nebraska. The heavyweight match featured what some may view as the top two teams of 2025, as Syracuse and Ohio State play each other. The Buckeyes' high-powered offense continued to impress with a 3-1 win to push their record to 4-0, while the Orange suffered their first loss, falling down to 2-1. Rocket League wasn't the only epic series between Kansas and Utah. The Utes, who started off the year at 0-2, came into this week as sleeping giants, and with a chance to put the PEC on notice against an undefeated Kansas team that the Utes were up to the challenge. After Kansas won Kings Row 2-1 to force a Game 5, the Utes came back alive to let everybody know that they are back. But that's enough about everybody else. Let's move a little bit more into these teams. First and foremost, the players for Boise State University. You know them, you love them. We got Jonathan Foraker, Cannon Miller, Carter Jones, Will Hess, Jenny Cummins, and Amanda Bailey.
That's a classic lineup, exactly who you want to see, except instead of Jonathan in this time, who is currently somewhere else in Korea, we've got Chris or Bear Dog in his stead right now.
Yeah, we got Mark Thana as well as Doc Haskell. You got to get the coaches. But we also have Kansas's team.
Kansas, and I'm going to read their names. They're My Dog Died, Ashton, Fake Alfie, Sinks, Swirlhawk, and Pingvin. So some interesting names. Of course, you'll recognize them if you watch a lot of PEC. A lot of great players on that roster.
Yeah, a lot of good plays made from that team as well. They've gone a lot farther with some really good resources, but the thing is, losing to Utah is going to put a lot of stress on them to win this next match. Before we go into that, though, we do quickly have a man on the street with one of our casters who's going to put the knowledge of our Boise State players to the test.
And our next one.
Oh, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like this Doug. This one is character.
That's the Kansas University Jayhawks.
What university is this bird home to?
Kansas University,
And where are they?
Kansas.
And
How about Topeka?
no, this is legitimately the hardest one of the night. No one's gotten it.
It's like all these like weird Midwest states.
Do you know where you live? Do you know where you live?
Can you think of any other city in Kansas besides Topeka?
Oh, Kansas City.
Kansas City.
I have no clue.
And I don't even have any clues for it. It's so tough. They're in Lawrence.
Lawrence. Okay.
Kansas.
I'm not even going to try
This is
here.
bad.
It's
This is-
Lawrence.
this is-
Lawrence, Kansas.
Lawrence, Kansas. Yeah, that was not happening.
I can't judge him too much because I also don't know where Lawrence, Kansas is.
They always do me wrong on those videos, man. Maybe I do myself wrong with my geographical knowledge, actually, but
I don't know. The United States is a big place. Can't be expected to know where every single team comes from. But you know what people should be expected to know? Doc's keys to the game.
that's a good plug.
Yeah. In Doc's keys to the game in Overwatch. Never take a fair fight. Take fights in unexpected places. So nice you had to put it there twice. And position your supports. All of this, of course, brought to you guys by Blue Ribbon Painting. Hey, esports fans, while you're here cheering for the best in gaming, let us introduce you to the MVPs of painting. Blue Ribbon Painting. With over 90 years combined experience, we are proud to be Boise's go-to team of local, multi-generational painters who know exactly how to level up your home. Ready to transform your space? Visit blueribbonpainting.net to schedule your free estimate.
Well, a lot more people are going to need to know Doc's keys to the game. A couple new students in class studying them as, like I said earlier, we've got a new player first PEC debut, Bear Dog. Good first game for Chris. Probably going to see what he is made of. I've played with him. I've obviously watched him play. He's a great player. I think he's going to have fun showing out today.
Yeah, this is going to be a good way to test his mettle. He's filling in for a pretty mainstay DPS player on the Boise State roster. But you know what? I think he's got it in him. I've seen him playing around a little bit, and as you put it, he is the Freya god. So we're going to have to see if that godly power comes out to shine today against the Jayhawks.
And something a little cheeky that might be noted, he was telling me he put his profile on private on purpose, so that he couldn't be scouted. No one knows he's an enigma right now in the PEC.
For all they know, he is a soldier one trick. But unfortunately, Maxwell is already a soldier one trick for Boise State. I mean, he's not really a one trick. He just plays the aim characters.
Plays everything, man.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT.
He is the ultimate flex DPS. He knows exactly how to play. But that really does raise a question. Both of these teams have new players on them. When it comes to Kansas, they have what is it? They have Keaton Yokam, or Pingvin, who is currently a freshman at Kansas State. New player on the team. Both of these teams are going to be running with 4 players that have played with each other for at least a year, and one person who hasn't played with them as long. How do you think that's going to affect play for both teams?
That's actually a really good question. Like, you would expect the default answer to just be like, oh, you know, if they're good, it works out. But it actually is pretty difficult, especially in a game like Overwatch. I'm going through that right now. Of course, Chris is going through that. Tyler Soup is going through that at the same time. It's interesting kind of getting yourself cemented in a new system because these players have been doing this thing for a while, like before you and most likely after you, you know, so it is a system. You can't go in and expect everyone to know exactly what you're going to need. You need to make yourself heard. And I think, yeah, I mean, a lot of these new players, that's something that they struggle with is communication and making sure that they're putting themselves in the best position. So hopefully they can get situated and hopefully both rookies can have a good time doing that.
Yeah, especially with Boise State having such an unorthodox play style. I mean,
Yeah.
Wrecking Ball is definitely a tank that requires a lot of teamwork in order to really make work. You got to have really good coordination. You got to know where your supports are at all times. You got to position your DPS really well. And it's something that they're going to – I honestly don't think they're going to struggle with too much. They practice enough that I'm fairly confident that they know how each other plays. I mean, it's pretty easy to see how Strider plays Wrecking Ball. I mean, we watch it every
Yeah.
single week, and we have been for the past 2 years, which I'm I'm really happy about because I love the little hamster myself.
It's fun to watch, man.
Oh, yeah, it's incredibly fun. But I am really excited to see how that is all going to pan out for tonight. The side of Kansas, I know that they have a very specific strategy going into a lot of their games, and that would be a very heavy reliance on the Zarya and the Reaper. You alluded to it a little bit in the beginning there. Really, what is the big picture with Zarya and Reaper? How does that really mesh together to create a wall?
Well, I mean, you kind of need to have them together, and the idea is like Reaper right now especially, he has a lot more movement options, a lot more just kind of mobility in general, so the idea is like just speed him in, like give him both bubbles, he's going to go run at the back line, like he can get work done, and we're going to play around that kind of in and out, quick, like brawl kind of style. But the only problem with that is with the ban system, you only really need to take out one of them to make the other kind of useless. You're not really going to play one without the other. So on a map like Kings Row, you could expect to see something like that banned.
Yeah, and here we have the last week's results from the PEC. We talked about the Kansas and Utah match that fell in the favor of Utah. Very, very close game. I would recommend going and finding the VOD for that because I watched it yesterday night. Whew, what a game. Boise State, of course, took the 3-0 against Baylor in a really convincing fashion last week. And then Syracuse losing out to Ohio State, who's looking to be a really big powerhouse. Looks like the first map pick is going to be shown up, and it is going to be Nepal. Always a great map. One of my favorite control maps. I would prefer Ilios or Lijiang Tower, but Nepal's a good third choice.
I almost like it just because you don't see it as much. I mean, Lijiang, Ilios, those are kind of the defaults. Nepal is very interesting. It's a very strange map, especially with Tracer and Orisa being banned, as we have now gotten word, which are two extremely strong picks. But, I mean, I'm not. Reaper Zarya is going to be pretty good on this map, especially that indoor point.
Yeah, the indoor points being incredibly close quarters is going to provide a lot of challenge for the Boise State offense to really get on them and punish their mistakes. However, that also leaves only a certain amount of angles of attack when it comes to Reaper, because while he can get out and move incredibly quickly, he has 300 health, which doesn't sound super squishy, but he can explode if not given the right circumstances, especially on the outdoor map like Shrine that we are going to be starting out with.
Yeah, the problem isn't even necessarily the health, it's the hitbox. You notice it when you're trying to play like Bastion, you just explode instantly because you're so easy to hit, and especially at this level, with these players being able to aim at the level that they do, like sometimes just having that that bit bigger of a hitbox is a problem.
Yeah, you're a DPS with a tank line, but it looks like we're going to run right into it. Boise State taking up the combo that we are very well formatted with, but Maxwell and the Symmetra is going to be a little odd. Kansas is going to be running out with the Zarya composition, trying to keep that Reaper up. Nobody's really found any good angles. Ooh. However, Ashton is going to get on the point early and force Strider to take it off.
The angles are weird here. It's hard to play into. Bear Dog might get caught a little bit low. The Suzu comes through, but he's getting chased down. So difficult to play. Has to dodge everywhere.
Man, he is moving around. Holy crap, he is moving quick. That little bit of Lucio speed boost is going to help him out. However, Kansas is going to get the first touch onto point. Not really able to contest. Strider trying to get around, get it into the back line, trying to boop something off, but Ashton manages to dodge it with the Wraith. What a play.
This is part of the problem, at least with the ball, is sometimes characters like the Genji and the Reaper can really get involved on the back line.
Swirl Hawk is down! Nobody looks behind them, and the Kiriko falls for it. Boise State backing off. Strider trying to find a new angle. Ashton gets 2 shots on him, but the Wraithborn comes out right before death. Hex does get found by My Dog Died. His dog wasn't the only thing that died. Unfortunately, Hex went down with him. Alfie getting beamed down by Maxwell on the Symmetra, trying to finish him off. Boise State is going to be ticking that point down, and they are going to flip it, but not before Fake Alfie gets taken down.
Caps the point, and that's a really valuable kill because this fight should be so free now. Rest can come in. Ults don't even really need to be utilized.
However, I do want to point out that Bear Dog did have to use Bola, and Strider hasn't quite built up to his minefield yet either. Cynics and Swirlhawk both have theirs. Graviton Surge comes through. Strider trying to keep himself up. Unfortunately falls right beforehand, but almost keeping him up. Lyric just not quite able to get it done. Maxwell does use the wall, but the fist goes through it.
Only so much you can do on point there. That grab, I mean, it seems greedy to use it for only one person, but a lot of the time that's only what you need. Just lock down the Wrecking Ball, in Kansas still being stalled though. Strider's actually back.
unfortunately, and that's just going to be a point loss for Boise State, and the point flipped right back over to Kansas with a pretty significant ult advantage on the side of Kansas as well. Ashton, Fake, Alfie, Cynics, and Swirlhawk all having incredible ultimates. You have the Death Blossom, you have the Dragon Blade, you have Sound Barrier, as well as Kitsune Rush. Boise State doesn't really have a whole lot to contest except for Lyric's Kitsune Rush.
I really like the Echo pick here. If you can notice, it's actually going to be so difficult for anyone to hit the Echo.
Oh, Ashton goes down incredibly low, manages to heal right back up. Oh, there goes the Death Blossom. It's going to find two. Maxwell and Hex quick to fall. Swirlhawk left all on his own, manages to swift step out of there.
Wow.
And My Dog Died is going to peel back for his support. Strider forced to get away with 25 HP left.
The problem is it's
they
hard to
gotta
play
heal
into the
him.
Reaper. There's not really too much of a front line right now with the ball doing what it's doing, and it's difficult. The Reaper able to find its value, although Strider is making noise. Another minefield almost online, but he's gonna have to use it quick.
Dragon Blade comes through. Hex goes down in the chaos. Bear Dog is going to fall as well. My Dog Died, finishing him off. Lyric gets found by the Dragon Blade as well. Boise State once again forced to back off. But however, you got Strider in the back line looking for something here to send it to overtime. Manages to get the touch, sitting on 99%, just looking to keep overtime alive. Keeps it going. Boise State needs to find a way back. Out comes Swirlhawk's Kitsune Rush. Strider needs to back off in order to keep himself up. Sound Barrier comes through. Maxwell on 1 health. Reaper with the Death Blossom. Doesn't quite make it through. Maxwell trying to build that up. Lyrics Kitsune Rush. Bulla comes through with Bear Dog. So many are found with that, but nothing really found in kills. Maxwell does get the kill. Boise State flips the point, but they may not win the war. Cynics does take out Bear Dog. It is just Strider in his back line.
He's trying everything he can possibly do, but there's no angles. Every support, every DPS is accounted for, and the point is back on their side unless he can stop it, but he can't.
Oh, Bear Dog onto the Sombra. He alluded to it a little bit earlier, going invisible. Manages to get the touch again. Ashton is going to take him off. A little bit of help from Cynics as well. Lyric goes down. Maxwell trying to get through, but the offense is too strong. Kansas takes round 1.
It's not enough. I mean, you already can see why they wanted to ban that Reaper. It made it pretty much nigh impossible to get on the point there because, I mean, holding that high ground, he can just play whatever corner he wants, and it's so hard to dislodge him. I mean, they're going to need to swap something up going into this next point because I don't imagine it to get any easier.
Yeah, they managed to get the one. Strider managed to get that 1 kill on Swirlhawk super early in that last one. And I just feel like that lack of space is really coming to bite them in the end. Boise State is a team that wants to fan out and surround you from all angles. However, Kansas is not going to be playing to that game. Jayhawks want to funnel you in, and on a map like Village, it's going to be incredibly easy to get that done.
The Reaper, I imagine Ashton's just going to sit on this point. He has 4 corners to choose from. Teleport can kind of traverse that high ground too. Maxwell on the Echo is going to have to deal with it better than he was able to last time, for sure.
Yeah, Maxwell just kind of peppering out, getting a little bit of damage in all spots. Ashton is going to be taken down low. Swirlhawk is completely alone. Unfortunately, the beam from Echo isn't going to do much. Suzu does get wasted, though, but Maxwell gets taken down incredibly low. Ashton is going to take out Hex in the firefight. Boise State is down, too, as Bear Dog goes down. Swirlhawk gets taken out as well. Boise State, though, is forced to back off, but Fake Alfie takes out Strider in the back half.
It's tough. I don't know if this is a problem with the composition, but it really just feels like Boise State's kind of playing 2 different games right now. The front line and the back line aren't able to get together, and yeah, I'm not surprised to see a Ramatra come out, maybe trying to play front to back, as well as the Bastion. Yeah, wanting to just death ball and kind of quit trying to split up, as it isn't really working so far.
Yeah, it's not quite working out. I feel like the Ramatra is going to be the better of the 2 plays, but with Ashton sitting right there, manages to get the bubble on him. He's not really doing anything with it, though, as a lot of stuff comes through. Maxwell does go down to My Dog Died. Unfortunately, too much damage coming through, and the block is not enough. Swirlhawk going to finish off Strider with Bear Dog falling very soon after, and the rest of Boise State getting ground into pieces.
This is insane, the amount of damage that Kansas is able to output on that front line. Strider holding his hands up, and it's still just the wood chipper for him.
Yeah, I just think that it's a little bit too much damage to be funneling through that small area. They haven't been able to really pop the shields on My Dog Died, or the ones that he's giving to Ashton as well, making it incredibly hard to move. Looks like Cynic's going to help the team rotate around to that main side. They might have a little bit of luck here since it's a little bit more open. However, with Ashton so close to Death Blossom, it's going to be incredibly difficult to push up. Swirlhawk can match it with the Kitsune Rush as well. Strider going to be taken down to half, getting pressured out by Ashton. Out comes the Graviton Surge. Doesn't catch anybody, but the Kitsune Rush does come through from Swirlhawk as well. Cynic's found on incredibly low health. It is matched by Lyric trying to get something through. Alfie going to take down one in Bear Dog. Just not able to do anything with it. Maxwell tried to take a little bit of an off angle. Does he get Swirlhawk? No, my dog died. It's just going to run out right in front of him. Suzu has to get used, but Beat is used in response. Cynics has to use it. And that is going to be a team fight win for Kansas, but with a little bit of a drag play to get it through. No, I should just stop talking because Hex got the sound barrier up. Lyric does get fake Alfie in his Dragon Blade, giving it one kill.
They got a touch, though. They got a touch.
They did get a touch. Oh, he gets there.
Just about gets it. And through the back now, Bear Dog swapped onto the Reaper, trying to get value. The ults are through. Gets the first betrayed. And time so low. Another touch came through, but I don't think it's enough.
Oh, Cynics trying, almost goes down. Hex does clear the point for just a little bit longer. Maxwell isn't quite able to get there, and that is going to be a Game 1 win for Kansas, going up 1-0. And I look like quite the fool for what I said in our panel the other day for Overwatch.
I mean, we talked about the Reaper Zarya, and they're showing exactly why the Reaper Zarya is doing its magic, man.
Yeah, that's what you want to do is Reaper Zarya, just smother them as much as possible. And even in this last fight, they were able to get a few kills, but it just did not quite match up to anything. Like, they were able to get Cynics, they were able to get fake Alfie, but in the end, they were not able to crack Ashton. They were not able to get the shields off of the Zarya. My dog died I don't think my dog died a single time.
No, he died once, I remember.
He died once on Shrine.
You made that joke, so I remember. But I mean, what you're talking about is, I mean, that's all true, and I think just Kansas was just allowed to play exactly how they wanted to play. You know, they got to set up on point, they got to set up on the high ground. Boise State were never really able to play the range, which is it's what you want in a Genji Reaper Zarya. You should be able to kind of cross map, get a lot more value than they're able to, but Kansas kind of took control of the pace. And they were able to take fights when they wanted to. They didn't take a fair fight, and if you follow Doc's keys, you know that it often leads to a win.
Yeah, they kind of grabbed the momentum by the throat there and just let it take them all the way to victory. Just was not giving up a single inch of movement. Like we saw it with Strider. He tried to get the space with the Wrecking Ball. We saw him diving onto Swirlhawk and Cynics over and over and over again. But partially really great play to Cynics on Velucio for the speed boost. And, I mean, Swirlhawk on Kiriko. Kiriko is notoriously difficult to kill, with Swift Step being able to teleport just about anywhere on the map that your teammates are, and Suzu being Suzu. But it is going to be incredibly difficult for him to get through. But something that isn't incredibly difficult to get with is our sponsor, the Idaho Air National Guard. What if you could pursue college and your dream career while serving your country and getting amazing benefits? The Idaho Air National Guard. Just 1 weekend a month, 8 months out of the year. You'll get tuition assistance, signing bonuses, healthcare, zero-down home loans, and high-tech job training, all while keeping your civilian life, job, and goals right here in Idaho. Whether you're studying, working, or building your future, the Guard enhances it all while giving you the leadership skills and lifelong connections. Ready to have it all? The Idaho Air National Guard is your pathway to education, career success, and purpose.
It really does not sound difficult. And another thing that we keep playing off the word difficult, and another thing that I wouldn't say this game's completely difficult yet. I wouldn't say it's out of Boise State's hands. Obviously, that's not what you want to see on a first map, but I would not be like, the game plan isn't completely gone yet because they haven't banned Reaper or Zarya.
That is true.
And
speaking of Zarya ban, Zarya Freya ban for this next one, the thing is about that is that you get 2 bans. You can get your Zarya and your Reaper, and you can't ban them again.
Yeah, you're gonna have to beat
still
them.
have to beat the Zarya Reaper
straight up.
You still have to beat it. You're kind of beating around the bush if you don't do it. But with the Zarya ban, this is a good spot for Boise State to start to get their momentum up just a little bit more and keep it rolling.
We'll take our 2 maps, okay? Like, even if we can't ban it a 3rd time, let's get to that spot first. So using it here is good. Zarya is a great character on Blizzard World, especially those later points. So annoying to play against the good Zarya. Just in general, Zarya's pretty strong right now as well, and with how My Dog Died was playing, I'm not surprised to see the ban come out 100 charge demon that whole map.
Yeah, for a guy named My Dog Died, he seemed incredibly lively that match.
They're ready to play, man. I think we've kind of answered one of those questions about the mentality, right? We almost somewhat not expected them, but it could be tough going into this off such a loss streak, and they're showing that they want to end that now.
Yeah, they're looking to end the streak and hopefully for them start one for Boise State, which we sure don't want to see. And it'll really come down to how Boise State plays this. I think that Tracer Man was really messing with some of our players. We know Maxwell really likes the Tracer, he likes the Soldier. Some of his favorite characters to play and the ones that we see him on the most. And I think those were the correct bans for Kansas, but now they have to contend with the Tracer play.
True, the Tracer to ball it's not as crucial as Reaper is to Zarya or something like that, but Tracer just is allowed to play with ball in a way that characters who don't have that kind of mobility, they're just not allowed to,
right? I think I see a Torbjorn rolling out on the Boise State
not
side
shocking.
of things.
Blizzard World actually, we play Torb a lot on Blizzard World because it's very survivable, and there's a lot, especially on these points, there's a lot of places you can set it up where it's very hard to deal with, especially with short-range characters like they had rolling out.
Yeah, and then also the sticky perk as well, where you can stick it to walls. And there's just nothing they can do about it. But starting off, it does look like Bear Dog will be matching on the Reaper this time around. He saw what they were doing with it, and they're just going to run with it. My Dog died playing a little bit of Junker Queen, something that we haven't seen a lot of, but always a fun character to watch play. Ashton really looking to make something, get something done. Bear Dog is going to be taken down incredibly low, just giving space to him. Carnage comes through, and Bear Dog goes down to Ashton. Maxwell's turret unfortunately falls. My Dog died. Isn't really able to get much room because of Strider. Cynics and Swirlhawk goes down. Cynics does get out of there. Boise State forced to vacate the point, but they are going to be jumping right back on with a lot of pressure. Ashton getting taken down incredibly low. That turret hitting all of its shots. Ashton with the teleport, it gets mixed up, and he's going to get taken down. Fake Alfie taken down as well, and My Dog died to finish things off, but two ticks on the point.
That was a great save, though. Normally, if you lose a player that early, as fast as Bear Dog died there, it's really, like, the fight is going to be tough, but the rest of Boise State managed to stall out, stay alive, and even take down Swirlhawk, which let them kind of retouch and take the fight, and that's good, because that's like a whole minute that they saved versus getting the point capped at 330.
Yeah, especially losing a character that can shred through tanks as quickly as Reaper, but a good slam gets on the Swirlhawk, forces out Suzu and Commanding Shout as well. Two great survivability utility items that they just don't have access to now. Bear Dog getting taken down low, and no one's there to support him, but Fake Alfie's going to go down to Hex. My Dog died, getting taken down incredibly low, and he's not going to go down, but Cynics is going to follow. Ashton taken down to 1 health. My Dog died, manages to get right back up, but unfortunately Ashton does not receive the healing he desperately needs, and Swirlhawk, the last one alive, is going to be sent to the spawn room, but not before taking Maxwell with him.
They could stagger this Junker Queen for a really long time, keep her out of the fight.
Oh, Rampage!
Really?
What a decision out of Alfie, and he's still going to find it! Kitsune Rush comes through in order to take him out, and Minefield! Wow, what a commitment, and it panned out pretty well. Unfortunately for My Dog died, but oh no, I shouldn't say unfortunately, because he's just going to take that. Point gets taken for Kansas.
I did not see the vision, but My Dog,
did that work?
It looked like he went in 1v4. Oh, Maxwell not able to escape. That's unfortunate as well. Kansas just, everything's working for them right now for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, what a play out of Kansas. And you know what I really think? I think he calmed that. I mean, staggers are great, don't get me wrong. However, you stagger for too long and you give the enemy team a chance to regroup, and I think that's what ended up happening. Death Blossom comes through, nothing comes from it. I think it was a fat finger, not quite what he wanted there. Slam comes through for Strider, getting a lot of damage on everybody, but getting pulled with a knife. Already taken down incredibly low, down to 53. Not quite able to find him, though. Kansas, oh no, Kansas does. Ashton hunts down the hamster.
They've got ults to try and pull this one back. They've got 3. Death Blossom is online. TB in the back. He's looking for it, but he's been noted. Swirlhawk turns on him instantly, and now...
Oh, Dragon Blade comes through, trying to find something here. Hex getting taken down, and Strider is going to finish off Alfie. Molten Core comes through for Maxwell, trying to get him off of that point. That might just be what they need. Swirlhawk getting the Kitsune Rush and the Swift Step getting used to get away from Bear Dog, who's going to go down. Unfortunately for him, his Blossom wasn't quite where it needed to be. Strider getting taken down to 120, forced to find a health pack. This is going to be tough for Boise State, especially with the target getting taken in close.
Oh, beat is big. but it gets traded and the team is so split. Maxwell's all by his lonesome. He gets hounded down and the rest of the team is going to try and have to pick up the pieces here. Strider slam, but it's not quite enough and they get the point.
Oh man, just a little bit too late out of Strider to get to that point and stall it in overtime. Kansas is looking at 4 minutes on the clock to get this to third point. And how
they got all their ults too.
Yeah.
Boise State still used them and they didn't even really stall for very long. Kansas is now gonna have My Dog Died ult again, the Rampage. I mean, he's got another, and if it's as good as last, this is scary. There's 3 minutes and 50 seconds still on the clock here.
Yeah, the swap over to Ramatra might be the case here. Just too much damage coming through with the Reaper to really play Wrecking Ball the way he wants. A little bit of Vortex trying to get stuff through. The Nemesis form comes out. A little bit of the Kitsune Rush comes through. Oh, so much, and Ashton's gonna find 3 with the Death Blossom. That might just close this. That might close out half of this point as Strider tries to stall for just a little bit longer. Unfortunately, can't stall for very long without Nemesis form.
They have another chance to touch, but it's going to be a straight up no ultimate fight, just 5v5.
Straight mechanics,
And
as
I
the
mean,
kids say.
This Reaper's going to be so good on this point too. Mox already taken low.
Oh man, just so much damage coming through for everybody. Ashton getting taken down really low. Bear Dog not quite able to find the final shot, but Ashton will. That's going to take him down early. Hex getting taken down by Fake Alfie as well. Strider left alone on the point, and Lyric isn't quite able to keep him up before going down. And with a Kitsune Rush to end it off, Kansas manages to complete the map with just under 3 minutes left.
Really, that's not what you want to see a lot of the time. That's not a sign of a great defense, you know, 3 minutes left. It is, of course, possible they run it back just as quick, but normally that kind of speaks to that they're losing more fights than they're winning, and Ashton is probably the reason for that.
Yeah, they
no Zarya, I mean, he's proving me wrong. He's shutting me up. Still the most valuable player in the server, even without all the bubbles and all the treatment.
The thing is, they're just not doing much against him. They're trying to send, people after him, but in a Reaper on Reaper, he's just winning the 1v1s way too much, and they just can't. They haven't found a way to really single him out and take him out, which is something that they really need to figure out a way to do if they want any chance at winning here. They just have not been able to quite find it yet. Fake Alfie, he's been going down pretty often. The Genji has not done a whole lot. I'm going to be 100% clear, but he doesn't have to in this composition.
Yeah, Reaper to me is like, you know how in a lot of fighting games, people will just, you'll play against someone who just spams the same move, and you're like, man, what can I even do? Like, he's just spamming the same move. And it's like, well, you gotta beat him. Just counter that one move, and that's how Reaper feels to me a lot. Like, there's not a ton the character can like he doesn't have a super high skill ceiling. There's not a lot of maneuvers you can do on Reaper, but I mean, when it works, and you're gonna have to prove you can shut it down before Ashton's gonna switch off.
Yeah, he's simple, but simplicity is also his biggest weakness as well. There's not a lot of counterplay to your counters. Maxwell is going to be swapping onto the Tracer and giving Torbjorn over to Bear Dog, hopefully pressuring out Ashton just a little bit more than what happened in that last round. Strider taking the high ground early, pressuring out My Dog Died. Not a lot of damage overall, but it is going to force out quite a bit of space for the Wrecking Ball and the rest of the composition. Strider looking to make a big play here, wrapping up to high ground. Cynics does get the boot, taking him over just a little bit more than he'd like, chasing him down. Bear Dog's turret is going to go down, unfortunately. Ooh, Genji almost caught, barely lives. Fake Alfie is going to live on just 1 health, manages to get right back in it though. Bear Dog looking for an opportunity to place down his turret. Interesting position for the turret, is going to get taken down, but now he's going to be pressured out by the rest of the team. Maxwell, though, is going to be taking out Swirlhawk. Big damage taken away, and Bear Dog goes down early. My Dog Died. He has to use the Fortify. Not going to be enough. Boise State manages to take it way earlier than Kansas was.
I mean, who knows? Maybe they are going to walk it back just as fast. Maybe these are just two attack-sided teams, but My Dog Died switching to the Orisa. That might be his pick. Of course, he's played it before. They did actually ban it last map, so he's kind of on his comfort pick, but it doesn't work initially. That Torbjorn doing so much damage from Bear Dog.
Yeah, maybe the Junker Queen is just a little bit of a comfort pick moving in for attack. I mean, we saw the Orisa band. Maybe he plays that a little bit more on maps he's not comfortable with Orisa on, but Strider looking to make a play here, looking to dive on Cynics, is trying to push him off. Manages to get the pile drive out, doesn't really hit anybody though. Ashton by himself on the point, nobody is going to finish him off. He has to run through. Strider manages to get the health pack before Ashton does. Taken down incredibly low, has the TP back to the corner. Oh, nobody's there to finish him off. Strider with the pile drive. The Suzu comes through. My dog died on 1 health. Has to use the Terra Surge. Doesn't find anybody, but fake Alfie's gonna find 2. Strider finding Swirlhawk. My dog died and Ashton both going down to the minefield and Kitsune Rush combo. Fake Alfie getting taken down really, really low. Is it gonna be finished off? Yes, he is.
Just about. And one more for the road. Maxwell cleans that up, and the minefield really made that one so much easier. Boise State was allowed to split the entire team, and it really just allowed them to clean up the fight. Alfie almost did a clip. He was shut down, and Boise State continue marching it.
You know, I will say, Boise State has done a way better job at managing their ultimates. They're not throwing 4 at a point anymore. However, with Maxwell having Pulse Bomb, trying to bait out Suzu from Swirlhawk to make sure this one connects. A lot of damage. He has to force recall. Suzu comes out. That's prime time for Pulse Bomb. Not really going to find it, though. He's saving it for later. Fake Alfie with the Dragon Blade is going to be a dangerous threat. Whoa, he just completely airballed it.
Now he's trying to read the dash.
Doesn't. I think he's reading a different book.
Yeah, I mean, he missed it, but that's not as crazy as it looks.
Oh, Death Blossom goes through. Doesn't find anybody, though. Hex gets taken down low, just not quite enough to finish it out. Beat does come through. Everybody manages to get it. Swirlhawk gets the beat as well. Fake Alfie gets his Dragon Blade. Bear Dog's going to go down to Ashton, but Strider's going to find Swirlhawk. Lots of healing gone. The TP into the corner. My dog died, getting taken down. Almost low, but not quite there. Cynic's taken down to half. Not going to be found quite yet.
Oh, the 1v1. This is so important.
Oh, he wins it.
He gets it and
that makes up for the Pulse Bomb.
That's so good. It's just 2 now on point. They can kind of walk this one back as the rest of the team regroups.
Yeah, lots of damage from my dog guy. A lot of it's going onto him as well. However, Swirlhawk is left completely out in the open as the minefield comes through. No help is coming through for my dog died as he's going to go down. Kansas finds himself without a tank moving into this final fight of the point. Are they going to push it up? I mean, they should.
Yeah,
but
the rush comes through.
Ashton is now on the Sojourn, of all things.
The mines are actually gone, and they can take this fight now and catch Bear Dog. Oh, Maxwell almost taken down. I think the rest of the team just wants to kind of regroup here and wait that out.
Oh no, Maxwell is not looking to regroup. He's looking for fake Alfie. He's looking for either Alfie or Swirlhawk, one of the two, and I think he'd be happy with just about either. Strider looking to do something here. Pulse Bomb goes through, misses onto Ashton. Wow, that is not what you want to see if you're Maxwell right now. Kitsune Rush does come through for Boise State. Unfortunately for Strider, his bounce, he's bumped away by the Lucio. Swirlhawk and Hex are both traded. Both 2 supports are down. However, the main source of healing out of Kansas is gone. Ashton sitting up on the high ground. Cynics is going to go down. Ashton getting taken down really low. Is he going to be finished off? No, he's not. The bunker from Orisa is going to help him out. However, in the end, it doesn't really matter. Fake Alfie is going to be taken down by the Wrecking Ball.
He's doing
piling
so much.
through.
He's doing so much. Someone
getting taken down low. My dog died is still alive on the point. Guys, we need to take out my dog died. Make him like his dog. Hex is going to lose the 1v1 to Cynics. Bear Dog unable to really find anything as Strider continues to spin around the point.
He's doing so much. Strider, he got like 5 kills by himself, held the point, but he couldn't get the support, and that's like 2 minutes now run off the clock at least. Moxel's got another Pulse Bomb on deck.
Yeah, can he hit this one though? He is 0 for 2 so far.
It's difficult, man.
It is difficult. I'm not saying that it isn't.
This would be the time that he would need to hit it for sure. It would be great to get one out.
Yeah, a little bit of damage being traded back and forth. The minefield is going to come through on the point. This might be what Boise State needs to pressure him off. My dog died getting taken down low, but Cynics with the beat is going to keep them all up incredibly high. Maxwell looking for a little bit of damage onto Fake Alfie. Not going to find it, but Bear Dog is going to go down. Minefield fights Fake Alfie and Swirlhawk. Maxwell's going to take down Ashton. That's 2. Can they finish it out? Pulse Bomb unfortunately misses. My dog died. It is just Cynics and the dog on the point, but my dog died is going to finally go down.
I don't know, like, this might be the best I've ever seen a Wrecking Ball play in any game. Strider is playing so perfectly. He's doing everything he can, and it's barely enough to get the point through. So much damage. He's staying alive forever, but the rest of the team needs to kind of just step up and be able to handle it with him, but Kansas wants to go.
Oh, big damage. Great roll through from Strider. Not really going to find anything on the kills department, but it is going to pull Cynics away. Fake Alfie and Ashton both popping ults, Overclock and Dragon Blade coming through. Not going to find anything. However, Cynics is going to go down. Instead, Bear Dog is going to be taken down incredibly low, but instead of going down, he's like, nah, I'd win. He's still in the game.
They played that so well. Unfortunately, Maxwell died, but they were playing that really well and letting the ball kind of get to work without dying.
Oh, Swirlhawk goes down! He Ajax! He got rid of his Kitsune Rush! Now Boise State has one completely uncontested. Looking to find Ashton.
Nice.
Strider rolling into the back line, manages to find Fake Alfie, and that's another win for Boise State. Less than a minute left on the clock. They need to push this thing over, and quick.
Kansas is going to get one more touch, but the minefield is going to look to deny that. Look at this cheeky little angle. It's going to be able to see where they go and set up a play. Look at Bear Dog, too.
The Christmas ornament of doom and
this
despair.
needs to work really well. They can't get it in overtime, or else the best they can do is tie.
Ooh, not going to use the minefield yet, but he's going to go down! Nobody kept him up! Bear Dog looking to try something, but two people go down to Fake Alfie. He's going to go down as well! That's 3 gone for Boise State as Maxwell tries to hit the pulse bomb and he misses! Boise State on the back foot as Kansas continues to push up. 20 seconds left on the clock. Strider needs to get to the point. And he was on the point for just a second. That's going to be enough to hopefully get them to overtime.
He's making space for his team to walk out right now. Rest of the team falls back.
Minefield comes through. Ashton gets caught in it on the Cassidy now. Swirlhawk gonna fall. That's two down. Maxwell going to finish off Ashton. Cynics going down as well. Strider finding 2. My Dog Died goes down as well.
But
this is going to be 3rd point for Boise State, but will it matter?
It's OT though, which means that the best they can do is draw. All Kansas has to do on their attack side is get a 1/3 of the point and they win.
Yeah, that is
interesting scenes. Not really something that you see a lot.
Not something that you see a ton, but for Boise State, that might just be what you need to bring this to a little bit better of a situation. You lose out on the Zarya ban for a potential win, but that gives you another shot at maybe getting a better map for your picks, maybe working on your strategy a little bit more. But they need to figure this out moving into 3. They were doing so much better. Just
that 3rd point, they looked the best on the 3rd point. Strider was fully locked in. He was playing so well, and it looked like the rest of the team were kind of playing the space properly. That's why it's so hard, as you're talking about, like, with a rookie fitting into a system like this, right? With the ball, you don't play with a ball as good as Strider often, so it's hard to really understand where you're supposed to play and when your windows of opportunity are. And it seemed like they understood it a bit more at the end. They would let Moxel and Strider make plays, and the rest of the team would kind of fall back and absorb the pressure. And as long as they don't die, it's a positive trade. And it looked like they were kind of getting a grasp on that at the end of the last point.
The Sigma gets thrown. I don't think I've ever seen Strider on Sigma.
He's really good at Sigma, actually. He's pretty solid.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to take the levitation perk as well, so he's going to be able to, he's going to float around. He's flying around town.
I like it here, because you're going to want to go for kind of something to bunker down, because if you die once, if you lose one fight, the game's over, so...
Yeah, you got 3 minutes and you can't lose a single fight. It does look like Kansas is going to be rotating around that right side bunker, just like they did last time. Boise State needs to find a way to get an early pick here in order to soften the blow just a little bit. Forced to get up high ground. Everybody's rotating around that left side. Lots of damage coming through onto the shield. However, not going to quite take it out. Maxwell getting behind him on the Bastion. Has to use the commanding shout out of My Dog Died. Lots of damage coming through. No kills confirmed. Wow. Lyric is going to find Fake Alfie now in a 4v5. My Dog Died. It's pressured out by the Bastion. No more turret for him, though, so it's going to be a little bit harder for him to find kills. Ashton getting taken down low, manages to get the teleport off, but My Dog Died is all by himself now.
Really trapped. He should be dead here for sure, and that's going to be a really good kill as long as he doesn't get out. How does he get out?
He just got out again!
But Ashton pays the price for it, though. And there still could be more kills here to be found. It's getting messy, but this is good for Boise State.
Yeah, the messier the fight, the better Boise State seems to play. They're used to that mess. I mean, they play Wrecking Ball after all. Kansas is going to swap on to the Tracer. Hopefully pressure out that backline just a little bit more. Accretion comes through, doesn't quite find anybody, but the knife from My Dog Died is going to pull him forward just a little bit. However, his teammates aren't quite where they need to be in order to punish it very hard. Swirlhawk getting teleported over to his team. Kitsune rushes, both come through, gets matched. Strider does have his ult, and same with Maxwell. Lots of damage being pressured out from both sides. Ashton trying to find something in the back line, doesn't find anything. The only thing he finds is a shotgun to the face, and my dog died Ajaxes. He loses his ult.
No way.
Maxwell
No way.
looking for a lot of damage here.
Ooh,
Finds
look at him. Who is
three.
he
He shuts
doing
them
right?
down. My dog died. You're not getting a second good rampage.
He is playing the robot, and his aim is robotic. If you don't know Maxwell, little fun fact: he loves his mice, he loves his mouse pads. It's a hobby of his. And
I
you
don't
can
know
see
how
why,
how
man.
he does it. I mean, I've tried his mice. It feels like you're moving nothing.
He's got the 2-gram
Oh,
mouse.
Ashton gets taken down. Almost goes down all the way. My dog died. Takes a lot of damage, but does manage to back off over to that right-hand side. He seems to like
Flux could
flip-flopping
be
between
big.
them.
Flux could be so big here.
He comes out. Maxwell
Ooh.
once again to fake
No.
Alfie, but the deflection is going to take down Maxwell, but quickly traded out. Beat comes through, but Strider is still going to find a lot of value from it as My Dog Died goes down. But Death Blossom
20
comes through,
seconds.
doesn't find anything, but you're right, 20 seconds left on the
They might
clock.
not have a chance. If they die here, they might not have another chance to touch.
Ooh, he gets him! Bear Dog goes down. Boise State still on the point. Hex, Lyric, and Strider both are all there. That's a lot to
Ooh,
choose
that's so
from.
good.
Civics goes down. Swirlhawk gets
No
aggression,
way!
goes down. The Wrecking Ball comes through with My Dog Died. How is he going to find the same success? Barrage comes through. Strider finds 2. Maxwell goes down to My Dog Died, but My Dog Died is not looking so hot right now.
Just him. Only him and Ashton are left somehow. Boise State holds on against all odds. The touch, though, still coming through.
Ooh, Ashton still keeping it up. Manages to touch it once more.
Wow.
Gets taken down by Lyric, finding 2. Swirlhawk on the Juno. Manages to get the overtime once again, but nobody is left. Nobody's there to put out the fire. Boise State lights it for a draw.
All that just for a draw.
Kind of
but
anticlimactic.
They looked good, though. On that last point, Kansas, it looks like they got a little ahead of themselves. They just, as soon as it started, they want to run in, and Boise State were able to play the tempo and to play the staggers perfectly there to stall it out. That is not often do you see a full hold in a situation like that.
Yeah, that might be the momentum shifter that they needed. I mean, it's a draw. It won't count on the board. However, it will help them out a little bit in the momentum. The first loss was really, really tough. But however, this game probably is going to relight a little bit of that confidence. You're still going to be playing into that Zarya Reaper comp. However, you're going to be rekindled in it. It does look like we are going to be switching out a little bit of players. I think Jenny Daydream is going to be switching out, which might be good. I think that there are certain things that you can do a little bit better with a team that's played together more. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how they adapt to it, but I think this is exactly what they needed.
Well, yeah, just different players, of course, are better at different characters, which are better in different compositions, which are better on different maps. So, you bring people in and out all the time, and I just think it was night and day, in my opinion, watching on Nepal playing with the Wrecking Ball at first versus at the back half of that map playing with the ball, and even playing with the Sigma. Just seemed like I'd seen Kansas, they were the ones kind of moving as a squad, so like you would see it, they'd hit that Lucio speed boost, and they'd just be one big chunk of players, and Boise State had been more split, and now I think it's not the opposite. Kansas still looked together, but Boise State has got a bit more of that coordination going.
Yeah, they were playing against the blob, and Boise State was finally able to find a way to separate the blob. I mean, it's a good composition. A lot of success can be found with it. The thing is, you pick off the characters that are on the outside of it, and you can find a lot of success. But you know what else you'll find a lot of success in? Our sponsor, ICCU. Thanks to ICCU for their continued support of Boise State esports. Thanks to ICCU, Boise State esports has won multiple national championships and piled up more than 1,500 wins. ICCU, looking after your daily balance. Visit ICCU.com for more information.
Kansas, I mean, they're still looking pretty strong, but it seemed like what they had been doing all this time kind of backfired on them a little bit. That last point, what they had been wanting to do at least was on Nepal, just stick as 5, like we said, stay as the blob, run around together. But in the end, it seemed like when the tempo was off and people started to get picked off of that blob, like you said, little chunks got pulled off the blob, like the staggers started to add up, and then you would see ults just kind of come out and be like, really, like just that ult, like then, and it seemed like Boise State kind of locked in a little bit more, and now we're not on even footing. Of course, Boise State's still down, but they've kind of proved to themselves that they kind of have what it takes now, you know?
They peeped game. They had to peep game for one
Yeah.
for one round, and then they locked in. And I hope that we continue to see that moving forward just a little bit more. We still got 4 more games left maximum to play because only Kansas has points on the board currently. Because unfortunately draws don't go to anybody. But honestly, I do think that if you full hold, it should be the win for the other team.
Nah, I don't.
But-
I mean, honestly, maybe.
Because I mean,
It's weird.
It would make
it's
sense.
weird. Yeah, I don't know. Talking like Overwatch game theory, it is definitely weird that it's like we both capped and like one of us can win and one of us can't. You
Yeah.
know, like okay, but yeah, I mean, whatever happened happened. Obviously,
I mean,
that's not
it's
super
not points
relevant.
for them,
but
so it's all good in the end there.
but one thing to note is Reaper hasn't been banned yet. Still, that was the Zarya, and Ashton looked really great. But I mean, I wonder if we'll see something similar. You ban the Reaper, my dog died, pick Zarya anyway, and is still super good. Or if going forward, maybe the Reaper was actually what was like enabling what's been going on.
Yeah, Zarya is a pretty good threat just on her own. However, her main advantage is the support that she gives to everyone else. She's the closest thing to a support tank that you really have with those bubbles.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, 100 beams will melt you in just a few seconds. Do not underestimate the damaging power of Zarya, especially with the verticality that you can
she's
get from
crazy.
her secondary fire as well. However, the bubbles are incredible for ultimates, like Pharah ultimate. Can't shoot her out because you got to shoot through the bubble first. Reaper, like we've seen, because you can't do anything to him while he's spinning to win. And overall, Zarya just enables so much more risky play for way more reward.
True, but I guess the downside, and when Boise State's fully firing, at least on the wrecking ball, the idea is that Zarya is very immobile. You can't really chase anyone around on the Zarya. You're a lot more front to back. You kind of play traditional, and so if the ball is working, and Tracer can't be banned anymore, so if we get a ball Tracer into that, like I could see you can kind of run circles around the Zarya a little bit more.
Yeah, and it looks like to me it looks like Ashton is also their Tracer player.
Yeah.
So if you want to match the Tracer, you have to get rid of the Reaper. I mean, Reaper is a fairly simple character. I'm sure that Alfie can play it as well. However, I doubt it's to the same caliber that Ashton has shown over the course of this match.
Probably, yeah, but I think they would be okay with that Tracer matchup in general. I think Maxwell, of course, is very confident on his Tracer. He'd love to bring it out whenever possible. So I think they'd be okay because they are. I mean, in that Reaper matchup, it's just tough. It seems like Kansas, since they like it so much more, they're just ready to show what they can do on it.
Yeah, here's whoa, Reaper be upon ye. Yeah, it seems like that has kind of been their game plan. I would not be surprised if we see the Reaper ban going into this next one. We're starting to get a little bit of momentum. Got to keep it rolling.
The problem is, though, I think you kind of just have to save it based on map at this point. Like, or actually, it might be an interesting discussion whether you use it on map or momentum, right? Because it's like, now if we win this one, it's just 1-1.
It's
like,
1-1,
We're back in it,
Yeah, we've effectively won 2 games.
But, if it's a map that's not that great on Reaper, they're like, okay, I'll just play something else, right? I didn't even really want to play him that bad in the first place, So, like, that's going to be an interesting thing is, like, when do you choose to pull it out and just really take it away and make sure that this is the one that we want to win?
Yeah, when do you pop the nitrous in and slam the gas pedal with
when
the
you
Reaper?
just got to run it sometimes. And, yeah, I mean, it's definitely difficult, and I can see a lot of obviously just similarities and kind of stuff we've obviously talked about in our practices showing up today, and in the goods and the bads, and because when everyone's working, the individual mechanical skill of some of the players on the roster is just ridiculous. Like Strider's so insane. Of course, Moxel's got insane aim. Like Hex is great, Lyric's great. I don't want to leave anyone out. I'd feel bad if I left someone out now. But like they're kind of letting that show a little bit more now, and those highs are so high, but the lows, of course, it's just difficult to sometimes to be together and play coordinated as much as you'd want to.
Yeah. From the looks of things, we are going to Runasapi, and it's going to be a Ball and Reaper ban. Both of them are kind of playing on the linchpin, or planning on banning the linchpin of each strategy.
Yeah, I mean, Strider has a lot more in his pocket than people give him credit for, though.
I mean, we saw the Sigma, we saw the Ramadra, last week we saw the Malga.
No, he's good at a lot of characters. I'm sure if it comes down to a Zarya counter, I'm sure he'd love to take that. And with the Reaper out, I think it's gonna give a bit more freedom kind of to the DPS of Boise State as well, who are kind of gonna be allowed to play other stuff now, because you're gonna have to play against the Reaper, counter pick the Reaper. Now you can kind of just you can go out with a different look, something that hasn't really been shown on any map.
I think that's also going to apply to Strider as well. We've seen them usually when Ball gets banned, he breaks out the Malga. And I'd imagine that he's scared to break out the Mauga if the Reaper is still in play. Because I mean, look at Mauga. He's a brick wall with a hit bar.
That's a fair point. That's a good point. For sure.
Moving into Runasapi, we see this map a lot. It's push. Map 3, we're still 0-1. Kansas still leads, but Boise State's starting to pick up a little bit of momentum.
The Freya is finally going to get a chance to really shine. This is a very good Freya map, so I expect them to fully play for that. And yeah, this is going to be interesting. Mauga, I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that. It's got a lot of open sight lines, so I think it's going to be a nice change of pace from the kind of death ball looking stuff we've seen before.
The wide open spaces, as Madagascar so eloquently put it. But yeah, I do agree. I think we're going to see a little bit more variation. I think the Reaper ban is going to open up a lot more strategies. I think we're going to see a little bit more dive-heavy characters. Obviously, the Frey. I honestly think the Frey is going to come out. You were talking
for sure,
really big about how.
Or Sombra as well.
Sombra honestly, I don't anticipate the Sombra. Sombra is kind of in a weird spot right now.
Yeah, Sombra's odd. It's definitely. There's a lot of characters that you can pick, and no matter what happens, you're like, okay, I'm on Tracer, right?
We're going on the Sigma, actually, for Strider, which may not be the worst pick in Desarya. That shield can do a lot to deny a lot of that charge, and a little bit of Wu Yang action is starting to come out from Cynics as well.
You know he likes it. Plays it most maps. They like looking for those kind of combos, but...
Ooh, Maxwell trying to get the TP in with the Symmetra. Fake Alfie getting taken down low, but a good bubble comes through, and that is going to put an end to that. The thing is about this strategy is that Strider can do a lot, but he can't do much when the beam's coming through. Big damage goes through, but Lyric is going to find Swirlhawk in the exchange. A good explosive gets stuck on Alfie, and Bear Dog living up to your reputation of him.
Yeah, I've played with this guy on the Freya. He's, of course, it's a signature selection, and I'm excited for everyone else to get to see what I've seen. He's really good on the pick and showing it. That's a really important first fight to get. Always good to be the one that moves the bot first.
Yeah, especially because the farther you can get it in that first deal, the harder it's going to be for the rest of the team. My dog guy going to be pushing up incredibly early without a lot of his team.
Ooh!
Fake Alfie,
no way! They caught him. Really good.
Poked his head out for 2 seconds, and he was shaven clean.
Ashton too, so low. Look at that play! What are you doing? Like, look at that.
Get off of the Reaper. Play me on a real character.
I think you might be, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but you might be reading between the lines here of what Bear Dog might be thinking. Great shots, and he already has that ult. It's so quick.
Yeah, Strider looking for a little bit more damage.
Whoa, no way!
Through. Cynics is going to go down to Lyric, though. Cross-map shot as the point gets ticked over. Boise State has forward spawns, which is going to make it even easier to push this point. Fake Alfie gets melted again. Swirlhawk does have his ult. However, My Dog Died is the only one close, as Boise State is closing in on almost every ult.
Moxel and Bear Dog are shooting rocket launchers right now.
My Dog Died is almost caught on the opposite side of the sim wall, but he's going to live for just a little bit longer. Big damage coming through with Maxwell. TP bombs the back line. Isn't going to find anybody. Lots of damage coming through.
Great shot.
Both Kitsune Rushes are traded, and My Dog Died and Strider are both going to go down in the exchange.
No tanks. Good shot, though, again from Bear Dog.
Bear Dog is going to use the Bola. Isn't going to find anybody, but the explosive going to be put on Swirlhawk. He is going to live, though. Suzu, busted ability. It needs to be nerfed.
He's hitting a lot of really good shots. People that don't play Frey don't know how hard it is, a lot of those shots, and he's playing so well. Strider gets taken down, but I mean, Kansas isn't even going to get a chance to get any meters before he's back.
Yeah, everybody's reconvening.
Look at that damage again.
He's just putting the pressure on him. The TP does go through, is going to be murdered, but Bear Dog takes Ashton out early again. Man, he might just be a Reaper one trick.
I don't want to speak too much on this guy, but
comes through. My Dog Died, lots of damage, takes out Lyric and Maxwell. Boise State might have to back off here. Just a good Graviton surge. Fake Alfie is going to be taken down low. The flux.
Whoa, what, does it hit him?
Missed. Oh, he was on top of the car.
Ooh.
But he's going to go down anyway. You can't block the rock, buddy.
Good adjustment, but I mean, where does he even get to go? Speed boost! Ooh. Speed boost might actually save his life!
No! He left him!
Not quite.
It's left him. Oh, unfortunate.
No, I mean, he was still in the speed boost range, but just caught right around the corner, and now Kansas gets a chance to move things back while Boise State's still down in the ultimate economy.
Yeah, speed boost is going to come through. Fake Alfie and Cynics both looking at their ults on Kansas State and Kansas' side of things. Jayhawk's really looking for something to get this point over halfway, get themselves a little bit closer to where Boise State left there. Broncos getting a lot of damage, pressuring them out. My dog died looking incredibly weak. Oh no! Sound barrier comes through from both players. Kitsune Rush is traded out as well, and the Dragon Blade is going on a tear. Finds 2 as Strider is once again left alone on the point.
Yeah, I'm a outspoken Dragon Blade hater. I think it's like ridiculously easy, and you can see it right there. I mean, the speed boost, what do you do? I mean, Fake Alfie just runs him down, does everything that he needs to for the 2K, and now, I mean, we're almost tied up here.
Yeah, Push is such a back and forth game, and especially with these two teams playing it so close. Boise State still does have the lead, but it can very easily be lost if they lose another team fight here. My dog died, getting pressured out, but
reflection
gets reflected onto from Fake Alfie. I regret all of the stuff. I was talking smack on him a little earlier because he's really showing up to play in the second half of this game.
Yeah, I mean, they ran it almost all the way back. Maxwell might get caught. I mean, in the corner.
What is going on? Maxwell barely gets out. Dude was caught between a car and a hard place, and Fake Alfie's going to pay the price for it. Lots of damage coming through, and Cynics gets sniped by the rock.
What a great rock. And that's the grab, too. They used the grab in a dead lost fight. That's so good. Boise State have a chance now. They should be able to run this all the way back. No ultimates on the side of Kansas, and nothing even really super close.
Yeah, Boise State coming up close with their with Hex and Strider. Ashton does have his overclock on deck. I mean, halfway through this next fight, he could have it.
He definitely could. It's a lot less consistent value than something like the gravitational flux, though, because you gotta hit a bunch of crazy shots to do it super well.
TP, I don't think that's where Maxwell meant to
visual
put it.
distraction.
However, I think that it did work out a little bit.
I mean, they're all in there.
Shot onto him.
They're kind of all grouped up a little bit too much right now. I mean, Strider could make a crazy play. They have a lot of AoE damage.
Yeah, Bear Dog looking for a good shot on an off angle. A good
no!
Blocks, but he's not going to get any support. No one is healing him, and Boise State's now going to have to back off after losing a tank without very much pressure.
I think you gotta just die now. I mean, Moxel's hiding, but I think it only gets worse the longer you wait. Yeah.
He tried to stall out the point.
Maybe
I see the
he might have gone to his settings or something. He might have tabbed out, but yeah, I mean, they've got to regroup here. I think they're almost going to be able to walk it straight up. Strider is back fast enough to contest them, but if it's just him, then he's just going to get walked down here.
Kitsune Rush does come out from Swellhawk, doesn't have it contested. No. Lyric's going to take down low. Hex does have a sound barrier now. No one's going to find the kill on Kansas, though. They do manage to take the lead. However, that is going to be a thorn in Boise State's side. Trying to find something here. Bear Dog taking the off angle, looks for another kill, isn't going to quite find it. Maxwell looking for something here. Dragon Blade and Overclock coming through. Both sound barriers traded as Maxwell goes down. Fake Alfie looking for something here.
He's
and doesn't find anything with it. Forced off with My Dog Died's charge. Hex is going to go down to Swellhawk as Kitsune Rush does come out from Lyric. He's not going to find anything, though. It's a 2v6.
Stalled forever, though. Hold on. He stalled for so long.
He does end up going down to the Graviton, but Boise State needs to find their way back onto this point. If they don't, Kansas does take it. 1 meters left to go, and Kansas is going to take game 3. Boise State loses it. Kansas takes game 2, and I think that's going to be your unbottled play of the game. Presented by local dairy farm families. Perform, refuel, recover, repeat. Visit unbottled.com to learn more.
Well, I mean, at least Bear Dog got play of the game. I was hyping him up, so you get to see a bit of what he's about. Good shots from him, but just Boise State walked it 100 meters, then they didn't get another fight. Well, I mean, I guess they won like 1 or 2, but they didn't get another meter after that.
They just never found that footing. They never found their hold.
It looked like they had it so convincingly at the start, though, and it didn't even really look like anything changed.
Yeah, they were halfway up the boulder, but their hands got too sweaty. They didn't have the chalk to apply, and they just slipped off in the very end there. And that is a tough loss if you're Boise State, and you just need to find a way to recover from it.
At the very least, they gave themselves a chance, another chance into this series with that incredible hold on Blizzard World. This could have been a 3-0, but they've given themselves another chance to try and get something going. But I mean, it's crazy. Normally you would just see like a shutout, but something like that where you get 100 and then kind of
Yeah.
get shut out, it feels way crazier to me.
Yeah, Push is one of those games where you either get shut out in the very beginning or you get shut out at the very end. And while you don't see the latter too often, you more of the time see somebody winning by meterage. A lot of the time when that happens, it is completely unexpected. And I feel like Boise State was just making way too many mistakes with the Sigma. I feel like the Sigma was played really, really well in the end, but he just wasn't getting the support that he really needed.
Yeah, I think I agree with you at least that it wasn't getting the value that they wanted it to get for sure. I think Strider was playing really well, so I wouldn't necessarily say he was playing bad, but for sure, like, I just think Kansas, I would say this for every map, they've just kind of been able to play the way that they wanted to play. Like, they get that Zarya value, and they really just keep running it down. They're never giving Boise State, like, the break in the space that they kind of want to play with. Like you saw in that first point when they were able to kind of spread out and play longer angles with the Freya, it works so well. But once
then they
Kansas
got
simplifies it, and in those death ball kind of fights, it seems like they come out a lot more than they lose.
And I do think that Sigma was maybe just a little bit of a mistake into that composition as
It's
well.
just hard to play into Zarya.
It's hard to play into Zarya as Sigma because your gravitic flux can be bubbled by Bayer. Your life steal that you get from the projectiles gets completely shut out because beams go straight through it. Your shield gets melted so fast. Reinhardt's a good counter into Zarya. I mean, he's not super great right now.
Well,
you don't see him very much. But he's good for the reason that you can just block so much of Zarya's utility.
You didn't even mention it's like it's so easy to charge her too, because she can see your bullets coming and then pop her bubble to get the charge. Instead of most characters, you have to predict it, right? But Sigma, you can eat the rock, you can eat pretty much all of his damage, and especially Freya, it's really hard to play Freya into Zarya too, because even if you stick her, if she pops the bubble, it still does shield damage instead of health damage.
And same with the Bola as well. It only does damage to the shield, and it's a really hard thing to really work around.
And I think, I mean, that's kind of what we were talking about. I mean, we came into this game talking about Zarya Reaper, and it's been the story every game. The Zarya or the Reaper has been a giant thorn, and they prepared, but it just seems like, I guess, I mean, there's obviously, you can prepare all you want, but it's hard to get in the server and mechanically play against these players, of course, so just the execution hasn't been exactly what the Broncos have wanted.
Yeah, they've taken the peanut butter and they've taken the jelly out of the PB&J, but however, both of those sandwiches are still pretty good even without the other, but then you combine them together, a good sandwich, get yourself a good PB&J.
Well,
it's simple, but it works really well, and I feel like the Boise State's starting to overcomplicate things a little bit.
It's like they're making a PB&J with the most slippery bread ever.
Yeah,
because they put the PB&J and then it's like, oh, this is amazing, and then it slips off. You're like, what happened? You just had it a second ago.
They're trying to mash their own peanuts. They're trying to make their own jelly. It's like, come on, guys, just get
Keep it simple,
just get some Schmucker's peanut butter or jelly and a little bit of Jif peanut butter, or even like Skippy peanut butter. I mean, I'm more of a Skippy fan myself when it comes to the peanut butter.
Man, I'll eat whatever. It's all good, man.
That's fair. Peanut butter is great. It's the one condiment I will eat out of the jar.
I mean, I think a lot of people do. You're not crazy for that. I think a lot of people do that. But
it is the best cure for hiccups.
Really?
Yeah, if you get hiccups, just a spoonful of peanut butter.
I just hold my breath. I've never had a problem.
I've actually never used the hold my breath strategy.
It works. If you hold it long enough, it'll work.
That can also be said about passing out.
Oh, yep.
But yeah, I feel like Boise State's starting to overcomplicate things a little bit. They're trying to play these strategies. Like the sim worked for a while, and it worked really well when Maxwell was just lobbing stuff downwind, not really thinking about it. And then they started to really overcomplicate things like, oh, we got to take 4 different angles, attack from all sides. And Kansas was like, nah.
I don't even necessarily think so. I think it's kind of like what I was trying to get at earlier with the PB&J analogy is like, it's just a delicate balance. And like, when it's working really well. And you can tell the first push of this map, they were getting everything they wanted. They were playing so well, but they were punishing the mistakes too, which I've seen them. They've done a good job of punishing the mistakes of Kansas. It seems like that's when they're kind of winning the hardest, but when Kansas is able to take a fight that they want on their terms, I think that's when we're losing, and they've had a lot of chances to take those fights.
Oh yeah, and then they just gain the momentum and they do not let it go.
Oh, especially Zarya, like, because Overwatch, of course, you have ultimates, right? So like that's the momentum. As you do damage, you get ult charge. That's the momentum going forward. But Zarya is like a much more tangible, literal momentum, because like next fight I am going to be stronger if you lose this fight. So like, you can shoot that bubble, but you got to think in the back of your mind, like, you're going to have to fight me next fight and the fight after that, right? Like, it's a delicate act, and my dog died has been at, like, 100 charge whole game just doing work, man.
Yeah, I feel like ults are a really good thing to bring up right now as well, because a lot of mistakes are made with ults.
Yeah.
I mean, on both sides, a lot of stuff was done. We saw a lot of triple commits out of Kansas, and Boise State never had the ults to match. Even while they were winning, they never had the ults to match. While they did win out in those first few fights, every single time Dragon Blade was popped, Fake Alfie got kills. Every single time. Every time that Overclock was used, it got kills. Every time Sound Barrier was used, Boise State couldn't get kills. Every time Kitsune Rush was used, he got kills.
An interesting note, I would have to ask Chris if he feels the same way, Bear Dog, about this that I do, being new to just this level of competition. I've never played against players this good before. Like, in our practices in the games, they're a lot better than, of course, ranked. And I think that's something I'm noticing is you don't use ults by yourself. Like, if you don't have a plan with your team, like, hey, I'm going to ult, you better bubble me, you better care me, you better use your own ult, let's rush combo, like, you don't get to use an ult for yourself. And I think, like, you know, Chris might be learning that the hard way, you know, you see with that Bolo shot that got reflected, you know, like, you gotta think a lot harder than you expect.
Yeah, something else that we'd like you all to think on is another one of our sponsors, Boise State University Extended Studies. Get your degree on a schedule that works for you. Boise State Extended Studies offers a variety of fully online courses and degrees to help you get your degree on schedule. Visit boisestate.edu/extended studies for more details. And just another look at Doc's keys to the game. In Overwatch, get good ult value, instill fear, take fights in unexpected places, and tempo wins maps. All of this, of course, brought to you by Blue Ribbon Painting.
Well, and to know, of course, here's some bonus ones, of course, just flashing them all. And I think, like you said, though, like, we kind of, you can tell the Doc's tips are good because we touched on them all, like, without even necessarily mentioning that that's what we were touching on, but you were just talking about the ults. Like, make sure ults get good value. Like, if you're pressing Q and it's not doing anything, or if it gets reflected, it's doing negative, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's every time you'd see Fake Alfie, right? He would pop that blade, but it wasn't just the blade, and that's why I hate watching, or not watching Dragon Blade, but like getting killed by it so much. It just feels like there's nothing to do, right? Because he's bubbled, speed boost, his whole team is with him. They're setting him up so well versus, like, if you're not saying anything, you're just popping that ult and going, like, you know, it's just the coordination really shows, especially with the ultimates.
Looks like next we are going to Gibraltar, and it is going to look like a D.Va and Symmetra ban.
One interesting is,
I mean,
no supports banned this whole series so far.
That is incredibly interesting, but something I would also like to point out is the D.Va ban. That's an interesting one. I don't think we've seen D.Va. I think the last time we saw D.Va was in the Baylor game last week. But I guess the Symmetra ban does make a little bit of sense, so that way you can get everybody up to high ground.
It's definitely solid. Both of those characters are good on Gibraltar, obviously, which is why they're banned. And it is what you said, that high ground. D.Va's really good at playing the high ground, of course. Pretty much even better than Winston, because the cooldown is even shorter on her fly. But yeah, this is going to be weird, I think, just going forward. I'd like to maybe just see Boise State go for maybe a hit scan look, you know, just because, like, at least the Zarya is just getting so much value from the projectiles, right? Because against Freya Symmetra, like,
I think
there's only so much you can do to not shoot her bubble.
The thing
like,
is
a
about
good Zarya is going to get charged.
I think it's going to get value one way or another, and you just have to work around it. When I played for high school, I had a coach, and what she told us on the team was, if you're going to go up against a Zarya, you either deal with the Zarya or completely ignore her.
Yeah. I mean, that's good advice. And that's kind of what I'm speaking. But the thing is, the problem with Freya and Symmetra is that's like the secret third option of a good Zarya will make value, because there's only so much you can do. Like, you're going to shoot your projectiles, you can just walk into it and pop her bubble, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like they do have to, and they saw a little bit of success with the Reaper and the Bastion as
I wouldn't be surprised to see another Reaper here. He's good on this map.
Reaper is very good on this map. There's so much verticality that you can take advantage of.
Yeah, with that TP perk, oh my goodness.
Bastion, not so much, since you don't really have a great way to get up on the high ground.
Yeah, the mind jump is actually solid, but
mind jump.
I think
mind jump. Do you mind jumping onto this high ground?
Do you mind jumping high ground and dealing with the enemies, please? Torb, I see a Torb moving around back there.
Another Torb.
Yeah,
Torbjorn.
I mean, it's
a decent pick.
If you don't want to die, he's a very survivable character. That's why they pick him a lot of the time. Especially, you can see that they're hovering a Winston.
I see,
you know, and that's why you'd want to pick the Torb, is so you don't get.
Oh, and we are going right into it. Strider going for an early slam onto the backline, not really finding much. Swirlhawk and Cynics doing the classic dive backline of the Ana Brig. It's going to make it a little bit harder for people to get in. Ashton is actually playing the Tracer instead of the Reaper.
One thing I'd like to note early is they don't have a lot of damage for Ball. If you just look at it, they just don't really have the options to burst him like they would with a Reaper or with a different tank or something, so he might be able to get more value this game.
Ooh, fake Alfie gets taken down low. Turret's looking for him, and Bear Dog's going to find the first kill of the match. Strider still hanging around in their backline, just being a little bit of a nuisance, as hamsters tend to do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, well, to finish my thought, I guess now Strider's allowed to either play a lot more aggressive with his team, or he can play a much more flanking style, because no one can really punish him for making a mistake super fast.
But he can punish Swirlhawk, but not quite as much as he would like to. Anti comes through. It's not really going to matter much since he's not getting
Look
a
at
lot
that.
of healer. Lots of damage coming through, but fake Alfie's going to take out two. Hex and Bear Dog both going down with only Ashton traded out by Maxwell. No healing is coming through, and that's going to result in my dog died. Well, my dog dying.
Maxwell ran out of ammo right when he was about to take fake Alfie down, but that's that value. Like, since they don't have enough to deal with the ball, he just isolated both supports, and sure, you got a kill, but you don't have supports. You can't really play that fight for very long.
Yeah, recall does come out of Ashton. That's going to be a lot of utility that's just gone for the Tracer in this matchup. Strider, once again, looking at the back line. He's got Cynics on high alert. Manages to block out the pile driver, but Ashton's going to go down to Maxwell as well. And he's off the high ground. Cynics can't get back up.
Damn, like, look, he can just do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's just doing whatever he wants. Just like you said, I mean, he's got the world in the palm of his little hamster hand.
Or his big, strong mech hand.
Well, he doesn't really have hands. He's got guns for hands there.
Yeah, like an arm.
Swirlhawk with the nano boots, going to jump on Bear Dog. Can't get away, just too much.
Not much to do there.
Kitsune Rush going to come through from Boise State. Lyric's going to get it out. Molten Core from Maxwell. Strider has to go back for the health pack as the cart keeps pushing up. Hex on the he's not able to defend Lyric. My dog died, taking out both of them as Strider is forced out by just about everybody. Fake Alfie on 1 HP though.
I mean, there's no way they can get this in though. I mean, Strider still has 600 health. Maxwell's alive in the back. It's a cool fight to win, but Boise State's going to be regrouping now.
Ooh, Rally from Cynics is going to try and keep him alive. He's on like 1 health. Oh, but Rally is able to keep him up. Ashton forced to use recall. Fake Alfie coming back to help him. Looks like the Rally is going to be maxed out from Hex. Bola comes through, doesn't find anybody, but Fake Alfie's going to go down. Winston forced to use the Primal Rage. And that's going to be a lot of utility out of my dog died. No longer able to use that as a fallback option. Ashton trying to push the cart. Strider looking to mine. He does. That's a lot of damage potential, and basically saying you can't stay on the point. Lyric gets taken down by my dog died. The cart is still just sitting there as my dog died is getting pocketed by Swirlhawk. However, Swirlhawk on low health. Fake Alfie going to pop the Dragon Blade, looking for something here. Finds Bear Dog and Hex. Maxwell gets taken down as well. My dog died on 1 health. It's just not quite enough damage. However, he's still contesting the point. 30 seconds left on the clock as Strider goes down.
Well, I mean, Strider, the trade-off, I guess, is Strider's allowed to do whatever he wants here, but the rest of the team, they have to contend with the dive, and when they die, it's simply just too much to ask of the Wrecking Ball.
Yeah,
it's difficult here.
He's called the Wrecking Ball, not the Wrecking Shield, so he can't really defend his team very well. But Fake Alfie's going to get caught out in a really bad spot. Early lead, or early point, or I guess early point advantage for the Boise State Broncos as the Jayhawks are looking to regain a little bit of control, find one of their own. And Swirlhawk is going to go down in the process. Cynics is just by himself, and Bear Dog is going to find it.
Nice, good kills, and Freya should be so strong now. You can just play on top of that ship, and sure, they can jump up and pressure you, but you have so many movement options to get away on that character, and Bear Dog, I mean, it's a lot to ask of the rookie, but he needs to show up real strong here to hold this. They're going to need a lot of damage here.
Strider looking almost at Minefield once again. Doesn't quite find the supports, but the Nano Boost does come out onto My Dog Dive from Swirlhawk. Not quite able to pressure it out. Bear Dog looking for something on the top here. Great spot for Freya, just not really anyone to find, but Strider is going to get My Dog Died. Lots of damage onto Fake Alfie. Is he going down? No, he's not. Getting killed up, but 2 really nice shots are going to put him out of the fight as Maxwell keeps him down. Looks like Bear Dog once again moving around, trying to find Cynics as well. Not going to quite find it though. Ashton getting taken down low, re-healed by Swirlhawk. as Kansas has to regroup once again.
Boise State has actually stalled a deceptive amount of time here. They only have 1:30, and Kansas are going to have to win 2 fights. They're not going to get it off one here, so only 1:20 for 2 fights.
Although I would like to point out, Boise State has a lot of ultimates left in the tank that they can still use.
got 4.
Maxwell looking to pressure out something on the point. Lots of damage being funneled through onto Cynic's shield, not really letting him push forward at all. Strider still just swinging around the point, doing his thing, doing his wrecking ball thing. My Dog died, has to use quite a few resources to get up to Bear Dog. Lots of damage coming through as well, as you see Strider fly up in the background. My Dog died, being taken down to less than a quarter health. No one really able to punish him out, as Cynics is being pressured by Strider and the rest of the team.
I love this.
No one really knows. I feel like no one knows what's going on, and they're all just taking their 1v1s. No one's quite able to kill anything, but that's for the best here. Hex is going to go down.
Trade.
Strider quick to trade, stuck. He's going to live on just a little bit of health.
No,
the health back got taken.
Goomba stomp the Tracer.
No! Lyric is going to take down Ashton, but Maxwell falling to Cynics is not a good look. Bear Dog forced to back off as Kansas continues to push the cart. Less than 30 seconds left.
Strider will be back in a second, and they do have the rush if they can live. Only 2 on the point means he has extra time to get back, so
oh no.
there should be another touch here.
Gotta get there. He
should be.
almost got body blocked, and with only 3 meters to go, manages to get there with a little help from the Kitsune Rush, putting the entire back line on the back foot, completely away. We are 5 seconds from overtime. Fake Alfie on the point once again. Hex pops Hex pops his rally, trying to get Fake Alfie down, gets him down low, just not quite taken out. Maxwell,
that turret is so good.
Maxwell kills Fake Alfie. However, coming back right away with the Dragon Blade. Ashton getting taken down almost low,
nice.
but take Fake Alfie before he uses the Dragon Blade. Cynics goes down as well.
Oh, no.
They are up. Players, Strider finds 2. It is just
Wow.
Squirrelhawk. And, oh wait, no, My Dog died, manages to get back, but he is not going to get it with the Wrecking
Dude,
Ball.
Strider is playing so insane this series. I genuinely can't believe it. Obviously, we've been on his perspective a lot, but he hasn't done literally one thing that I'm like, oh, what's he thinking? Like, nope, everything I'm like, yep, that's the perfect play to make, and it's showing off. A hold there is insane, and Bear Dog showing up, insane shots to hit on a Tracer. I saw him hit 3 sticks while we were watching, and we were talking earlier about how annoying a Tracer is to play against on this character. Just how hard it is to hit those shots, but he's in form.
Textbook Wrecking Ball, and pretty much just textbook play out of Boise State. We saw a few minor mistakes being made in the beginning. It's what allowed the Jayhawks to really get through, get the momentum pushing. They were not able to keep it going, though, and that's what Boise State needs to do. They need to find a way to get that momentum moving. They have a really good shot here because the Zarya is not a great pick on Gibraltar. However, they're still doing a lot of pressure with the Winston, able to really get up into some odd spaces.
They are, but I can tell you were joking about like the splitness of everything, but I think that's what Boise State wants. I mean, you said that earlier, they thrive in the chaos.
Yeah.
But like, Boise State wants the fight to be split because Ball will beat any tank if the fight is split, unless like Winston has support or something, but they want the fights to be crazy and spread out and use their movement abilities and all that kiting and all those 1v1s and that individual skill to make plays. And I think Kansas finally aren't able to play the way that they want to.
He's an agent of chaos. Oh, they're breaking out the Hanzo. Maxwell trying his aim with him.
Interesting.
A little. Oh, no, never mind. He's back. He's
Yeah,
back.
he must have saw the
I
call.
figured that
He
would
might have
be
played it into
short-lived.
Winston. He probably wanted to play it into Winston.
Probably. Cynics on the Wu Yang this time around, looking to play maybe a little bit more aggressive.
They're just
do a
moving
little
the
bit more
point.
Damage. But Strider just moving the point completely for free. That's the problem with Gibraltar. You either take the high ground and give yourself a really good advantage there, but then you leave the point. Fake Alfie trying to get a little bit of damage in, but he's going to be forced out. Too much damage coming through. Ashton up on top. Max back on the Hanzo. I guess he figured that he wanted to play the Hanzo.
I said early last point that the ball was going to get to do whatever it wants and it's going to get so much value. This should be the opposite. This time should be the opposite.
My Dog died. Goes down to 1.
Wow, he
not
lives.
able to finish it out. Ashton does get taken out by Lyric.
big
though.
slam.
Big slam onto Swirlhawk. Also down. All the supports are gone
Wow.
as Fake Alfie finds out the hard way that he has no support left.
Boise State taking over. I think this is where they like to be. They want to be the ones pushing, walking it down. It seems like that's where their success is. And it's showing. I mean, the ball shouldn't have as much value. They've got Spear. They've got a bunch more stuff to shut it down this time.
Yep, taking high ground. My dog died, forced to drop in order to contest
Wow.
the point. Lots of people going up top.
that's
but
damage.
once again, you see Strider just running up and Ashton shooting at the wrong target. Cynics does find Maxwell, but taking out both really good players, but they are still even. Big Alfie getting taken down.
Whoa,
and
he got
gets
it!
him, but rolled right through right after.
A trade is good for them, though. They'll be back quick. They have Minefield, too. So that's kind of what you want to see, but oh no, Dog Died is getting active.
Oh no, he's getting active. Lots of damage. Hex almost taken out, but luckily he's managed to save. Terra Surge comes through. Hex is still alive.
No
Gift
way.
up. Lyric does go down, and that's the support line for Boise State gone. Strider trying to back up and regroup. But look at the ult disparity between these two teams. Hex almost has his, but Lyrics, Bear Dog, and Strider all have theirs, while only Cynic and Swirlhawk can match on the side of Kansas.
Don't write off the double support ult, though. It could be more valuable if the Volo goes wide. Tracer 1v1, Maxwell, careful!
Oh, has to use recall. It's not what you want to see in a Tracer 1v1. The first one is
Ashton.
recall. But
The
Ashton-
Reaper Gamer is moving on him. He's chasing him down.
Oh, but he's using recall.
Oh, hold
too.
on, it's turned now. It's like a cartoon. now I'm chasing you down.
They're trying to chase each other down. Not a lot is being found. Strider, on the other hand, is getting pressured out at this side. Ashton taken down incredibly low. No one's able to find him, though. Cynic's off by himself, but Strider diving right in with the minefield. Bola comes through, finds one, and Cynic's
Suzu.
Ashton runs straight into the minefield. Bear Dog's going to go down, but traded out for Swirlhawk. Fake Alive is also going to run right into the mines. You'd think glowing blue orbs would be easier to see, but not for the Kansas offense, apparently.
Lyric just hit an insane Suzu. I think it was either 3 or 4 person inside of an ult. It was so big. And that might have saved the fight. They don't even need to go all the way. They've got 3 minutes now.
Yeah, 3 minutes to go. They only have to get it right before third point, and that is more than possible for them to do at this point. Strider looking to pressure high ground out. Fake Alfie is going through, trying to get through, almost dead, not quite found. Ashton does get the pulse bomb, but not going to find anything.
Lyric
My
lives.
dog died. Goes through Lyric on 1 health. Strider does take out Cynics. That's a big portion gone for Kansas, especially with both of their ults being used in the process.
Whoa.
Bear Dog, good shots. Not going to find anything, but it's
Recall.
going to pressure him out.
Recall used. This fight is crazy. Everyone's split, and Boise State, of course, is
Oh,
fighting.
Swirlhawk gets taken down right before
Oh,
he
no.
takes out Maxwell.
No way he
Bear
hits
Dog,
that.
Wow, what a shot! As Terra Surge comes through, it finds Lyric and Hex, but lots of damage coming through from both
Look at the other
sides.
side.
Cynics goes down, and Strider gets to just run away. Wait, he ate the Bola!
No, he didn't know where the shot or the health pack
unfortunate.
was. Somehow Kansas hold on through all the chaos.
Man, my dog died ate the Bola. He was pretty hungry. The horse has not been fed in a while, so he was like yummy, yummy string and rocks.
Straight up ate it, man.
All
It
right.
doesn't do that much damage to tanks, really.
Nope. Not sure why he was shooting it there.
I mean, if you hit them though, it pulls everyone else in. So if they're all like clumped together, then it's sometimes nice to just hit the guy that you know you're gonna hit.
Lots of damage onto Fake Alfie, forces the entire team back. Jayhawks really looking to find something, trying to find
They're really
anything.
split here.
They're playing split, but like we were talking about earlier, that's where Boise State likes to play. Bear Dog looking for something, gets a few pot shots on Alfie, not gonna find it though. Strider and Hex and
Ashton.
Lyric all going down to Ashton as Cynics finishes out Bear Dog.
He might have
Maxwell-
heard you
Maxwell's
making
the-
fun of him for only playing Reaper, and he's showing out on the Tracer now, man.
Maybe. That might just be what ended up happening. All right, Maxwell looking to go engage. Strider also sitting right on top of the airplane. He's waiting to board his flight. However, it's going to be grounded. It's Whirlhawk going to be caught in the corner along with the Wu Yang. The stick comes through, doesn't find anything. Strider just too much health as he's chased down by Cynics. Both support ults are on the field for the Jayhawks. As Cynics goes down early.
That's so good.
That is so big. Only the Kitsune rush
let's
to keep
go.
up. But Ashton goes down as well. And Swirlhawk has to use his swift
Dog.
step in order to get through. Minefield is going to prevent a touch. And he's going to go
Wow.
down. My dog died. The last one on the point. Is he going to stay up? No, he's not. It's 5 people. He's not living that long. It looks like
I don't
Boise
think they
State
can
is
touch here.
primed to win, especially because Kansas does not have very much to get through. Oh, wait, no. Ashton does get through with the blinks, but with the Kitsune Rush, it's going to be really difficult for him to get
Oh, he
through.
stalled really
Swirlhawk
well.
is trying to get there to
Good
stall,
shots.
but a good Suzu is going to come through.
Oh, what a move! No way, that shot was insane!
What a shot. Terra Surge comes through, gets everybody, but a good Suzu is going to keep him down.
Whoa.
Oh, Bear Dog walks back
Just
into
give
it.
him one, just give him one, I mean.
Give him one. But Boise State puts a point on the board. I'm sorry for my reaction, but I can't breathe.
That was insane. Good calls, man. You were good action as well. Bear Dog so good on the Freya. I was telling you. We didn't get to see a ton of it, but I was telling you he's tough. I mean, he had fake Alfie's number there with those shots.
Oh, yeah. And can't really discount Lyric, especially
Ooh.
on the DPS side of things. I mean, getting a few really crucial hits, especially...
Yeah, every time I feel like if I see a crucial like first fight pick, it's always Lyric is the one to get.
because he picked Ashton a number of times.
Yeah.
He picked
The Lucia, I remember, Swirlhawk.
Yeah, he picked Swirlhawk. He picked just quite a few people in that last match. But, I mean, once again, you got to give it to Strider. Like,
I
just
mean, he's playing so well.
Yeah, he
Everyone's
has
getting
been
into it though, for sure. I can feel the energy is a little bit different, and you can tell in those fights, like those kind of fights weren't happening earlier in the series. People were just dead. They were just dead early. Like, there weren't those long, drawn-out fights where there's chances for the Freya to get a crazy play and build that. There's chances for the ball to get value, but people were dying too fast. But now, I mean, I think they're a little bit warmer. Everyone's alert now.
Yeah, everybody is a wide awake, alert, enthusiastic, if you will. A little bit of Red Bull into the system, a little bit of caffeine got injected into these guys' veins, and now they're ready to get things going. They're no longer asleep at the wheel; they're fully awake.
Not in a great spot though.
They had a crisp white Monster, and they were getting to go. I know that I'm like the only one who drinks those around here, but
Yeah, I don't know about the white ones, the white monsters.
They're the best ones.
I don't know. I mean, I respect your opinion.
I mean, the orange ones are okay. It's like drinking a Suddy D.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
The orange monsters.
However, Boise State is still match point. They've got to win the next two, and
yeah, they are threatening the reverse sweep though. First game on the board.
If we were using a one-game sample size, they are the favorite to win this series. But if we're using the actual series sample size, they have a bit more to go. However, it looked like Kansas. I didn't think they looked as comfortable on that dive comp. They weren't doing it like. The thing about a dive is you don't want to be taking 1v1s. The point is that you're taking crazy like 5v1s on like a Mercy or something, you know, and
someone that can't fight
a lot
back.
of the time, like Bear Dog versus Genji, he's just gonna win that, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even a dive at that point. You're just you're just taking a fight that you might lose, and they did lose a lot of those fights, and I think it was what cost them the map.
And that's where Boise State really thrives, those fights that are super drawn out. And it does look like Torbjorn is going to be banned as we move into Servasa. But who is the tank? Who's the other ban?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's not showing there, but
the mysterious blank.
Yeah, I mean.
It is
there
Junker
it is.
Queen.
That's a good ban.
That's a really
I
good
really
ban.
like to see that.
That is a really good ban for this map.
My Dog died. I think he's looked pretty good on every pick, especially the Zarya, but I think the Junker Queen was a close second for sure, and Stuarvoss is a crazy good Junker Queen. That's like the best Junker Queen.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So, it's good that that's off the board, but the Zarya Reaper is on the table for this game.
Yeah, this is going to be a close one. I mean, the Zarya Reaper on the table. Boise State starting to feel themselves a little bit more, starting to play a little bit closer to how they do normally. But with Kansas off of the dive comp, this is where they thrive, this is where they want to be, and the Jayhawks know it. So they're primed to do very well. But Boise State can't count them out quite yet. Game isn't over.
If they keep that form that they had in the last one, it's going to be good. But Flashpoint is a lot different than the last map. Watchpoint Gibraltar, of course, is just escort, moving the payload down, and they're going to need to control space a bit better than just moving forward constantly or holding one spot. Like, Flashpoint just plays a lot differently, so hopefully they're able to adjust quickly enough.
Yeah, and we saw them struggle on the control point map, so I hope that they found out their strategy and are looking to do a little bit better in this next one. I mean, Flashpoint and control, they're two sides of the same coin. One, you have a little bit of transition. The other one, you just go straight to.
Flashpoint is control, but harder for new players because they don't know that you need to, if you're down at all, you need to just regroup and take the next fight. Like, you can't, if you get staggered bad enough, you straight up lose the entire point. So it's like you got to be a lot smarter on Flashpoint. So I mean, in this chaos, who knows who's going to be the one who's thinking it through and the smartest.
Who will the agent of chaos be? It does look like the Zarya pick is going to be coming out once again from Kansas. However, what is Boise State going to pick? We don't quite know.
Maybe a Zarya mirror. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened, but
Yeah, we've seen Strider on Zarya before, and he does feel pretty comfortable on it from the looks of things.
but I would expect with how good he's playing on ball, I wouldn't be surprised if he just played his ball.
Oh, yep, there it is.
I
And
mean-
Maxwell with his coveted soldier.
But Ashton and my dog, crazy combination. They're going to have to best
Slam.
them.
Big slam from Strider. Not really going to be able to find anything. Just a lot of health lost. Fake Alive and Ashton both trying to go in, taking a little bit of damage on the intro. Kansas not really wanting to push up. Boise State doing a pretty good job at just pressuring them out. My dog died, trying to push forward
Big
a little bit more with the
damage.
Zarya. Maxwell's going to go down to
he's
Fake
flanking.
Alfie.
Axel loves the flank on Soldier, and it looks like this time he was punished, but I think that space was partially due to him. That's why they got to cap the point, but Bear Dog's getting ran down here.
Ran down by the Reaper. Not going to find health in time, unfortunately for him. And that, I think, is going to be the first cap for Kansas.
I mean, Boise State's already capped the point, though. If they can touch, they can stall forever, but the touch doesn't come through. If it did, I wouldn't even be surprised they got like 50% instead. They're going to have to regroup and refight.
Yeah, Strider still in the fight.
Oh,
looking to
no,
get something
Lyric.
done. Lyric is going to get dove on, though. No one to dive to. Oh, he almost used Swift Step. Just wasn't quite able to get
That's
through.
what I was talking about earlier. That stagger, I mean, by the time they're even back and ready to fight again, it's going to be like 60, 70%.
Yeah, it was just odd positioning out of Lyric. That was an odd place to be
Yeah.
at that point in time. And Strider as well. Just trying to vacate the premises might be the better way to do that. However, Strider looking for a
space.
dive on Swirlhawk. Manages to get him down low, not finding the kill confirmation though. My dog died, also getting
Nice.
peppered out quite a bit.
Nice.
Lyric, Bear Dog finding two. Boise State is up in the matchup. Cynics and My Dog died both going down. Point is flipped back to Boise's side. 70% for Kansas.
Still, I mean, they got it as fast as they could, and if Kansas wins, it's gonna be difficult. So Boise State Maxwell, of course, he's looking
Maxwell.
for a flank. If he gets something here, this could win them the entire point here. If he gets a kill here.
He's on his tippy toes
Ooh,
right
nice
now. Fade on
lineup.
a Swirlhawk is going to take the health pack though.
Oh, this is really sketchy though. If the team turns,
yeah.
but they're not. They're trying to push it.
They are completely one-track minded, but Swirlhawk is going to get
Ooh,
through.
nice
Cynics
shot.
goes down with the Bola. Bear Dog going down as well. Minefield right on the Kitsune Rush.
Nice.
It's going to take Swirlhawk. Both DPS are down from Boise State, but no healing on the side of Kansas. Boise State in a good spot to get these guys down. My Dog died getting taken
Trapped.
down incredibly low, and he's
Nice.
going to lose the Lucio. Hex making up for a few of the mistakes he made a little earlier in the game, taking out My Dog died, and that is going to be a point for Boise.
Really
Going
good.
up early.
Again, that's the flashpoint showing they were at 70-30 and one fight was all it took. Maxwell, I really like just watching this style of Soldier because like
He's just in the back.
yeah, like what are you gonna do? Go catch him? Like you're just gonna run away. So this is a good diversion. It makes them. It's really good with the ball because ball wants the entire team's attention to be split in a bunch of different places and not looking at him.
Yeah. Once again, Maxwell finds himself on the back line, but Alfie's ready for it with the Death Blossom coming through. Cynics is going to go down to Hex, but Lyric is going to be found with fake Alfie's Dragon Blade. Strider going to be forced out as the point is going to flip to Kansas for the first one.
Hex and Strider, of course, wanting to move out together. It's kind of difficult to set up plays with Soldier. Freya, it's not too difficult, but they're definitely going to want to look for quick bursts onto someone here because they've got ults on board.
Yeah, Bear Dog looking for some early shots onto My Dog died. Hex taking a lot of damage in the opening moments, able to get healed back up. Maxwell looking at Visor in this next fight. Might help him out, do a little bit more damage. There goes the Visor. And what's it going to find? He can't see anything. It's covered by a sound barrier as Fake Alfie takes him out. Boise State down one already. Swirlhawk getting taken down incredibly low. Doesn't quite find the kill though. Lyric going down to My Dog died as well. Boise State looking to back off. I think this is going to be a point for Kansas.
If you notice as well in these last couple fights, every Boise State player is shooting at someone different, and not all the time for Kansas, but there's a lot of times where you see 3 or 4 looking at the same guy, and it just seems like everyone's dying so much faster on Boise State's team, and that might be why.
Not to mention Fake Alfie doing a really good job at shutting down Maxwell's dives on the Soldier. Do a lot of damage on the point from Strider.
Yeah, he's taking those
everybody
1v1s.
back. However, the rest of
Big
Kansas
mines.
is just doing stuff, but the mines come out on the point. The Kitsune Rush does come out from Swirlhawk as well. Maxwell's going to take out Ashton. Big player, lots of damage, but Bear Dog and Hex are both going down as well. Strider looking to keep this point, wants to get it flipped for him, give him a few points left on the board, but as overtime ticks down, Maxwell looking to reposition on the Soldier, trying to find something here. Nothing's going to be found. Strider still holding on to hope on the point.
Oh, man.
It's just not going to be found. It's not in the cards, and Kansas ties it up 1-1.
Well, it's 1-1, and like you said, Fake Alfie is not ducking a single molecule of smoke. He wants all of it. He's like
he's like me
he's
at
like
a
my
campfire.
grandma. I don't, yeah,
He's
I
like me at a
that more.
campfire, just sitting around. Everywhere I move, the smoke right in my face. It's like,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he wants all of it. He wants those 1v1s, and it's tough to win those on Soldier. It just definitely is.
yeah, Soldier really thrives on the you do not see me. A good bola comes through, just not quite found. Lyric and Bear Dog, the first people to go down. Unfortunately, Boise State is on the back foot for the rest of this fight. Fake Alfie getting down low. Maxwell just outside of his effective range, though, is not going to do very much
One
damage.
thing to note as well is going into this one, that was part of the game plan, was to shut Fake Alfie down. He's known to be good on Genji, and still, he's really making himself known here, despite the game plan.
Swirlhawk getting taken down incredibly low. Is he going to be found? No, with a really risky run through. Isn't going to quite find it with the Kitsune Rush coming through.
Good
It's going to help
rush.
him get on there. Fake Alfie is going to use the Dragon Blade. Ashton threatening the Death Blossom, almost killing himself. Lyric not going to find anything before the Zarya finds him. And Strider looking to find something. The minefield comes through. Lots of damage onto him. My Dog Died goes down, traded out for Strider. Point did get flipped for Boise, so a lot of time is getting sunk into them. Swirlhawk being hunted down by Hex. Lots of damage into the minefield. Kansas is going to end up taking the point back, but Boise State does get a little bit of percent left on the board.
Point goes over, and Cynic's got a really important double kill there on Lucio. Like, kind of.
Ashton goes down. That's no Blossom for them as the point flips right back over to
and
Boise.
Cynics dies too. And Alfie, I think, as well.
Lots of people.
If they can run down here, they can get a really good kill. And like I said, that stagger, they might not even have a chance to get back. Like if they stagger, my Dog Died long enough.
There's the stagger. My Dog Died is completely gone.
They got it, and look, 60%, and it's ticking so fast. If they can get another, they might not even be able to touch the point again.
Yeah, boys, Maxwell once again looking in the back line, takes Ashton down
Alfie
low, but he is
it.
ducking the fade. He does not want Alfie. He does not want Alfie's smoke. He's been there a few
But
times.
look, they're hunting him. They're hunting him. Look.
Oh, the visor gets popped.
He stalled so long.
He stalled so long, the visor got popped, and now Strider's in the back line melting through Ashton. He does have his ult, though. It's going to be difficult to get him through. If he does get on there, it's going to be dangerous. Out comes the Kitsune Rush. Mines are down. Sound barrier comes through.
Oh, no.
He gets bumped out.
booped.
Oh, that's an unfortunate boop. It's not quite where he wants it. Ashton did have to use the sound barrier, though. One less ult in their pocket.
Getting ran down. Oh, man, if those mines are on point, that could have been a fight win. But now, I mean, if they die right here, they're now the ones who might not be able to get a second fight in. It's weird. Bear Dog's looking for something here.
Bear Dog gets stuck by his own bolt, unfortunately. Ashton got taken down incredibly low, but Cynics is going to find Lyric and shut that down incredibly fast. Swirlhawk taking so much damage. In the process, Cynics is going to go down. That's one less support for their side. However, Ashton is going to make sure that Boise State has nothing as overtime continues to tick on.
Oh, man, I don't think there's much more here for the Broncos, at least in this point. Maxwell tries, but I think that, dude, the supports, they might be one of the pivot factors. If you've noticed the fights where Hex and Lyric are the ones who are getting those initial picks, I mean, it's so much different versus Cynics and Swirlhawk have been getting a lot of value, like getting 1v1s and important kills.
Yeah, also, I would like to point out the fact that Maxwell's ultimate was not super great with the visor. Lots of big slams.
He calls it a nerf, to be fair, because he hits more headshots, so he thinks Soldier ult is a nerf.
Yeah, that's fair. Ashton
Oh,
taking a ton of damage. Big bola comes through. Isn't going to find it. He's going to find Fake Alfie. Swirlhawk is also going to go down. That's two gone. Ashton getting stuck. He's going to go down as well. Maxwell and Lyric both fall to what's left of the Kansas offense. However, my Dog Died being taken to
I mean, this fight is at 1. Cynic's got 2 again, and Grav!
Oh, Grav goes through. What a
it wins,
play,
though.
but it looks like it's going to win out.
Wow, my Dog and Cynic's just 2v... Was that a 2v4?
That was a 2v4, yep.
Jeez, like I said, Cynic's, I think he got three final blows on his own right there on Lucio. Like, the value is just ridiculous. He can do so much with that damage, and that's bad. That's a fight Boise State should have won for sure.
Yeah, especially with the ultimates that really shouldn't have gotten a ton of value.
That's
Both
big
getting
Mines,
stuck
though.
up
Look
there.
at that.
Yeah, all of them stuck in a little tiny corner. That's the perfect spot for Mines. It's what you want to see under your Christmas tree if you're a Wrecking Ball main. Every single person on the point. Mines are going to come through on the Kitsune
Oh,
Rush
it's
as
not.
well.
They ran away.
They ran out, but it's going to find Lyric, especially with the
Oh,
Dragon Blade. It's going
no.
to find Bear Dog as well. However, they can't really contest the point with the Mines. However, they're not going to last. They're not going to last forever as they get right back onto point. Kansas finds it. Ashton's going to go down, but in the end, Boise State doesn't have the people. Swirlhawk getting taken out by Maxwell, allowing them to recontest. No one's there to capture the point as they try to push Kansas off of it.
They need to get this now. I mean, if it goes 99, they have no margin of error. Things are so sketchy, and my dog is so charged now. Maxwell just broke the whole barrier.
Yeah, but they do manage to get the point back. They're going to have to fight for it. Maxwell taking that off angle. The rest of Boise State. Oh, they get Swirlhawk! What a good shot. My dog died on 1 HP. Blossom gets both supports. Cynics getting taken down really low. Not quite found. Beat goes through. Kansas looking to recapture this point as Maxwell goes down. It's fake Alfie. Ashton also really, really low. Has to use Wraith. Not going to find anything. Pile drive going through. Strider on really low health. Fake Alfie also low. Everybody is incredibly low in this fight as Hex finds him in the end. Kansas does flip the point right back,
though.
but they do need to touch.
Running out of time, it's overtime. This could be so good if
Oh,
he
no,
gets
the
Not
Suzu.
quite. It's so hard to hit those shots. I don't blame him. Mines again, though.
Mines again. Strider manages to force them all off the point. That's going to be a recapture for Boise State as the clock continues to tick. My dog guy does get the grab once again, but the Bola gets two. Bear Dog goes down, but trading out two for his own life. That is what you want to see. Lyric has to use Kitsune Rush to keep himself alive.
What? Cynics again! Cynics again! All the kills!
Oh man, the minefield has to come out. Swirlhawk gets punched right in the face as Cynics is hunting everyone down. Boise State
No
continues
way,
to tick
Strider.
up. 84%.
He's doing it all. Strider's literally doing it all. Trying so hard, but there's still more that he needs to do to win this one.
Oh, the Sombra does come out of Bear Dog, manages to get my dog died into a weird situation. He takes out Hex,
Good hack.
but once again the hack comes through, not able to find much. But
Big.
oh, 99% and
no
continuing
way.
to tick. Boise State manages to tie it up 2-2. Next fight will determine whether we go into the
They're
final round.
definitely not giving themselves a lot of room to play with here. 99 match point. But they got it when it matters, and now they have a chance to go to map 3 if they can get this, and they want the fight early.
Oh, yeah, they do. They're looking to pick someone off early. Oh, Bear Dog almost goes down, but
Escapes.
a clutch Suzu manages to get in so he can escape.
Big
slam through with Strider, but not finding much. Swirlhawk forced to swift step away, but that's a good ability to have out of his pocket, especially
what a
because he
kill.
goes down entirely.
So good. It's still 4v4 here, but the team is a little split. Look who's coming back, though. Hex, rollout. He's going to be there in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Look at him go. Already on point here to help.
Already there to help. Fake Alfie trying to do something here. Hex doesn't quite have his ult, and Kansas has both of their support ults to do stuff with. Speaking
Mines
of support
again!
ults, Mines go through as well as the Kitsune Rush and the beat to keep him up. Strider on very low health. Mines exploding everywhere. Unfortunately, not enough to take him out. Hex is going to go down, and Kansas is going to flip the point.
They get it. This needs to be a really big pulse bomb or some sort of kill. Really good for
Ooh,
Lyric.
yeah,
What a
he gets
bomb!
2 heals from Boise State. Ashton does find Lyric, but they are at the same amount of supports left as my dog
no,
died,
still.
fighting for his life on the point.
3v3 and Lucio's back.
Oh, the Dragon Blade's
quite.
gonna come through. It's gonna find 2. Strider and Maxwell both forced to back off.
Just holding on. Barely fake Alfie gets it off, and somehow my dog died. Has died like twice this entire series.
Yeah, nothing really to use though from the side of Kansas except for the Death Blossom. Oh wait, no, they have Graviton.
Good touch, look at this!
Fight, but a good touch comes through with a slam. Swirlhawk is gonna go down with some help from the Kitsune Rush. Out comes the Death Blossom. It finds Bear Dog, but it wasn't combo with the grab. Oh no, the grab takes out Strider. Then Maxwell is soon to follow. Hex is forced to stay off the point.
Oh man, this isn't good. It says 80, but they really only have a desperation touch now with the beat. That's the only chance that they have left to win.
They don't see him. He's sneaky. He's sneaky like that. And he's gonna
Gets
get on
it.
the
Oh,
point.
but he's eliminated.
gone.
Executed.
Oh man, Strider trying to keep this point up to only down to 300 health. Fake Alfie taking a ton of damage, but he's going to still take out Bear Dog. Lyric goes down as well. Maxwell trying to touch the point, keep this in overtime. Minefield once again. Holy
like
moly,
30.
he's got like a bunch of them. How many does he keep in that thing? Apparently not enough to keep him up. Maxwell trying to find something here. The beat comes through.
Wait, they can win this, maybe.
Strider, they can still win it. Maxwell looking for a kill, can't quite find it. Doesn't find anything. Hex looking to keep the point, but doesn't touch in time. Kansas wins 3-1.
And at the end of the day, they had the better execution. That was what they were looking for going into this one, Reaper Zarya. And I mean, you could just see why at the end. They were so strong on that fake Alfie on the Genji too, just making it sing. And the Broncos, they definitely had their highs, but at the end of the day, I think Kansas ended up being able to play the game. Look at that. That's a crazy play on a wall riding Lucio, hits all three.
Yep.
Wow, well played, Kansas.
Yeah, well played to Kansas. Congratulations on your win. Well played, Boise. Everybody did great. Unfortunately for Boise, Kansas just did a little bit better. They played the game a little bit more fundamental.
Yeah, I'd like, well, two little shout outs. First shout out, of course, Bear Dog. Great showing. I thought he looked insane on the Freya. It's always great to have a player who's capable of something like that. And then Strider played one of the best games I've seen in a while, man. He played so well. What an effort, even in defeat.
Yeah, you got to hand it to Strider as the linchpin of this team. I mean, every single time you looked at him, he was getting kills on the scoreboard. And I feel like that's what they needed to find a little bit more of in the DPS department. I feel like they just... Maxwell was doing good
tough,
on the Soldier. It just wasn't quite enough. Some really interesting decisions were made, especially with that Soldier non-serve Asa. I feel like it could have worked. I just think it overstayed its welcome.
Well, we touched on this a little earlier, but Boise State now has a losing record in PEC Overwatch, something that they haven't seen in a while. And I mean, this is gonna light a fire.
Yeah.
I mean, the only question, I guess, is how big of a fire is gonna be lit.
Yeah, it'll be incredible to watch this team grow from here. But that is all that we have for you tonight. But don't go away just yet. We do have an interview coming up really fast with one of our Overwatch players. So after this, we will be going right into that interview. So make sure you stick around.
Scott Matlock, underrated recruit, has built himself into one of the best defensive players in the Mountain West.
What would you do if you couldn't fail? Would you see every setback as a catalyst to keep going? This is the innovator's mindset, because innovation demands daring. It's finding thousands of ways that don't work, and the one that changes everything. It's when your unrelenting spirit sees the world's needs and says, I will create something better. So, what will you do? Will you let your genius run wild? Give yourself the space to be great? Set your sights on something even bigger, because we know changing the world doesn't happen by chance. It comes out of the blue.
My friends know me as Derek, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard.
Let me show you what I got.
With the Dairy West Fueling Station, we really wanted to create a place that our players could come and be fueled and hydrated in a healthy way, fuel their minds, fuel their bodies so they can compete at the highest level. Dairy West has really allowed us to do that, and we're excited to see what this space turns into. This is only phase one. There's many iterations to come. It's truly unique in college esports, and we're excited to see how that continues to evolve. We're really thankful for Dairy West's support and look forward to continue working with them.
Let me show you what I got.
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
And I am joined for a post-game interview with Lyric. And I just kind of wanted to touch on the previous game. Your Syracuse game was a little bit rough. The Baylor game, you guys came back and won really, really well. And this game, you guys tended to struggle in a lot of the same places. So I kind of wanted to get a few of your thoughts on that.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Bryce. This PEC season definitely looks a lot different than it did last year. Last year we came out and it wasn't really competitive. I mean, all these teams, they were great. It was fun meeting everybody at Vegas, but just with the experienced players we had in our team and the fact that some of these teams were still really new, we just had a significant advantage. And this year, that's just not the case. And so there's a little bit of growing pains with that. We kind of got comfortable and thinking, oh, we're just going to win these matches. But no, there's a little bit more work. And I should say, like, we didn't get super comfortable. We were still practicing. But we were definitely caught off guard just with the quality of the competition versus teams this year.
Yeah, now that the PEC has had a year to marinate, they've gotten into the flow of things. This is no longer inaugural season. We're starting to see a lot more of the talent pop up. And we're also starting to see this in a lot of other game series as well. I want to point out Rocket League. We're starting to see some issues there as well. And sort of the same deal. We're starting to see teams that were really, really good struggle against teams that have grown from it and they gained new players. So what's the game plan moving on from here? You guys are coming off a really great 5-game series. What's the plan going forward?
Yeah, so I mean, we're just going to keep grinding with the group that we got. We have a couple walk-ons this year that we're still trying to get acclimated with. And there's been a lot of like glowing moments from that, and there's a lot of potential, so we're super excited to see where that goes.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of potential still left to be found in these players, and I do think we saw a little bit out of Bear Dog tonight. We saw some really good plays out of the Freya. I mean, it was getting hyped up by Zach a lot beforehand. I don't think he was able to play it in a lot of the scenarios because a lot of the maps weren't super great for Freya. I mean, Gibraltar, he really shined on there. I mean, tons of high ground to play off of, and sort of, what's your opinion on just all the walk-on players? I mean, it's great that you guys have them, but
yeah, that's a good question. The walk-on players are doing really well. A lot of them came with very minimal team experience, and so it's been a big jump for them to come to a team with players that have been doing organized for 4 or 5 years. And they're learning really quick, so we're really happy with their performance so far.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see how they grow moving forward, and I feel like it's going to be really entertaining to watch them. Well, thank you, Lyric, for joining us on stage. Once again, you guys did a really great job in that 5-map series, and that will be it for the interview tonight. I just want to thank every single one of you guys at home for watching, and we will catch you tomorrow for a little bit of PEC Valorant, so make sure that you tune into that.
Thanks, Bryce.